Plus, I think that there's still plans to have a swimming pool up there, so if you do get entry, you're going to pack your Speedos?
Yeah, I'll have some of that. Yeah, on a nice hot day like that, why not?
But it is a lovely hot day, and Liverpool in red-hot form as the players, match officials and coaching staff all take a knee. This is one of the Premier League's dedicated no room for racism weekends, and we see that on all of the electronic hoardings on the perimeter as we get underway in gorgeous conditions here in West London, with Fulham in the white shirts, black shorts and white socks, kicking from right to left in this first half, and immediately it's boomed out to the left-hand side as they look at things, and Castagna will take the throw for Fulham. The last meeting was eventful, a 2-2 draw at Anfield. Pereira gave the visitors the lead early on. Robertson then sent off. Gakpo with a leveller. Muniz put Fulham back in front before Diogo Jota, who we spoke about at length in the build-up, grabbed the equaliser. Here is Robinson on the left-hand side for Fulham, closed down by Jones, opts to go infield to Sander Berge. All of this in the final third as Fulham look at it, but Mo Salah sticks out a boot, nicks it off Lukic. It goes back to Bassi, who goes all the way back to Anderson.
Yeah, you can see it like Robinson, because they don't play as a natural fullback. They tuck in now, this inverted fullback that try to go into midfield. So it'll be interesting to see if Robinson and Iwobi can double up on young Curtis Jones, who's a good player.
Anderson with one of those trademark sweeping diags out to the left, and Robinson, who is quick, wasn't quite speedy enough to be able to keep it in, but that is a big weapon for Fulham. Joachim Anderson able to deliver those deft crossfield deliveries as Jones takes the resulting throw in for Liverpool. Commentary of all three 2 o'clock kickoffs for you across the BBC. Spurs against Southampton, and Postecoglou under increasing pressure. That's on Sports Extra for you. Brentford against Chelsea via the website and the app, and later on the Manchester derby, with the news still being digested about Kevin De Bruyne's impending exit. And on the returning Carl Walker podcast, you can actually hear all about his goodbyes to the Etihad. Here is Joachim Anderson deep inside his own half. There was a bit of a problem for one of the players. I think it might have been Castagna over on that far side, so they popped it out so he can receive some attention. Yeah,
I'm not sure if he collided with his own player, Sander Berge, because they both looked like they were down for a minute there, so it was a bit of a collision. I think they both came together. No, it wasn't. It was. So Castagna gets a knock from Gakpo, and then he runs into Sander Berge and injures him, but they're both all right now.
And we are back underway, and the ball is with George Cummins' best mate, Bert Leno, inside the Fulham penalty area. Just puts his foot on the ball, decked out all in blue, almost the same colour as the cobalt skies overhead here on the Thames side, as Jones gets underneath the long ball over the top as Iwobi on his shoulder. He's just outside his own area, jinks and weaves and plays it back to Kelleher. Not the most comfortable pass for the Liverpool goalkeeper, but he booms it upfield anyway. Nowhere near anyone in red though, so collected by Joachim Anderson, who'll go all the way back to Bert Leno. I was here actually for the FA Cup game against Crystal Palace. Fulham started that game really well, but then seemed to just wilt away, and you wonder if their season, perhaps the same as Bournemouth's, is in danger of just petering out a bit after what had been such an impressive first two-thirds.
Yeah, but they've still got chances to get into that European places, so they're well placed. I don't think Marco Silva or the players were wanting to fit her out. So yeah, they were disappointing against Crystal Palace, even though they dominated. Palace were more ruthless in that final third, and I think that's been Fulham's biggest problem, the final third. Getting that striker who can get you the goals. Munoz has done well at times, so has Jimenez, but that's why I think they'll strengthen in the summer.
Clinton Morrison with us in the sunshine here at Craven Cottage, where it's still goalless between Fulham and Liverpool with 3.5 minutes on the clock. John Murray and Leon Osman will bring you the Manchester derby in full from 4:30 from Old Trafford. Lukic on the left wing for Fulham. Back to Robinson. His pass was overhit though. Salah's able to get it back and send it all the way back to Konate. And now it's up the line, although very sloppily played by Gravenberch, straight into the path of Bassi. Fulham have made probably the brighter start, although no chances to speak about as of yet. Bassi with a nice step over that gets him clear of Mo Salah, and now Berge has levered it out to the left-hand side. Robinson advancing by the corner of the penalty area, takes on Curtis Jones. Felt he was fouled, but Chris Kavanagh, the referee, wasn't buying it. Liverpool have it back inside their own area. Konate's been robbed, big chances, and Muniz can't take it. They want a penalty in there, Fulham. Well, that was almost a massive calamity for Liverpool early on. Ball still alive here, swept across to the far stick and behind for a goal kick. Well, Chris Kavanagh saw nothing wrong with the challenge on Muniz in the centre. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, we'll have to see it again. Let me tell you something, and I'm all for playing out from the back. But Konate, I don't know what you're trying to do. Do not try to do tricks in that. That's not your game. Don't try to do a Rabona, because you will get punished. And what it is Pereira does well. He knocks it to Muñoz. Muñoz has a touch. The ball's already gone away from him, and him and Virgil van Dijk collide. It will not be a penalty. It's just a collision between Muñoz and Virgil van Dijk. But Konate's got to be better than that. I'm all for playing out from the back, Mark, but we've had 5 minutes. Don't try to do Rabonas in your box at 5 minutes. That's just not your game at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Head it, give it to Virgil van Dijk and the rest of the players. Let them play. Very fortunate there, Liverpool.
Massive let-off for Liverpool, and in particular Ibrahima Konate, who's started last 12 in the Premier League for Liverpool since returning from injury, but almost had a moment to forget there. Marco Silva just making a point to the fourth official. He's obviously unhappy that there was no further sanction for that challenge.
He can be unhappy. It's not a penalty. The ball's already gone away, and he's run into Virgil van Dijk. It's not a penalty. Pereira's got to do better with the pass to Muñoz.
Fulham on the move again, looking for the ball in towards Rodrigo Muniz. Van Dijk intercepts. Fulham have picked it up with Berger, although he's had his pocket picked by Diogo Jota. Gravenberch now trying to lead the quick counter. Szoboszlai through the middle, collected by Cody Gakpo. He's got Salah to his right, advancing to the edge of the area. Now lays it off to Mo Salah, corner of the penalty area. Overlap comes from Jones, crossing position. Too close to Leno, who spills it. Nearly came the way of Salah. Goes out for a Liverpool throw. First quick counter we've seen from Liverpool so far.
Yeah, they haven't started, but that's what Liverpool are all about. Once you give them a second, they just break on you. It's good play from Gakpo. I thought he delayed it to Mo Salah, but it's a good little run from Curtis Jones and good defending at the near post.
Jones throw towards the edge of the Fulham penalty area. Gravenberch offloads to Mo Salah. All on the right-hand side for Liverpool, all in their traditional red strip this afternoon. And what is such a lovely sunny day here at the Cottage.
Mark, just there. Virgil's saying to Konate, play quicker.
Get a move on, wasn't
he?
Yeah,
he's too slow on the ball. Play it quicker.
And Fulham feel a bit hard done by that. A free kick's been awarded for a challenge on Cody Gakpo, so Liverpool have got an opportunity to just perhaps slow things down, because it's been a slightly sketchy start from them. We know that they had that attack just now which almost carved out a good opportunity for a Liverpool goal, but defensively just look a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, they have, but the only one who's looked sketchy for Liverpool is Konate. He's the one. He needs to play quicker. When you've just made a mistake like that, the next 3 or 4 passes, move the ball quicker.
Van Dijk with a long diagonal, looking for Salah in round the back. Really good anticipation from Robinson to get it clear. Only as far as Jones. 7 minutes gone. Still waiting for the breakthrough here as Gravenberch plays a clever ball for Salah, who's got to the byline. His low ball blocked by Bassi, and Fulham survive, but the flag is raised anyway. So it will be a free kick for the home side.
You know, when you watch, like you're here early enough and you watch the warm-up, you see Van Dijk and Konate, the centre-halves do passing together. He looks so effortless the way Virgil van Dijk. He just picked the ball up there 60 yards, nearly played a fantastic ball. Just look effortless when he's playing balls like that. But good defending from Robinson.
As effortless as Clinton Morrison in his heyday.
I try. Well, no, I wasn't a 60-yard. I just 6-yard tapping, let's be honest now. Couldn't reach, I couldn't kick the ball that far.
Fulham have it with the score 0-0, just under 8 minutes played. Remember, later on, full commentary of the Manchester derby is now Liverpool are appealing for a free kick just outside the area. Sander Berger has chopped through Cody Gakpo, and your reaction suggests you think there was something in that, Clinton.
Yeah, I think that's a foul. I think he catches him late, but the referees, he didn't give it.
Fulham on the attack with Pereira, worked out wide to Sessegnon. He's got 2 in the area to aim for. Sessegnon blocked off by Andy Robertson. He's won it back though, and plays it back to Pereira. Andreas Pereira, was he tugged there by Cody Gakpo? Chris Kavanagh lets the play go on. The Fulham fans in front of us not best pleased with that. Sasha Lukic inside the centre circle for Bassi, who's worked it to the left, and Robinson. He advances a couple of yards. Liverpool back off. Robinson with a flick ball through. That's clever. Lukic wide on the left, goes further wide to Iwobi. His cross now is low and cleared by Konate, but it's skewed off his boot behind for a corner.
That sums him up, Konate. Like, that is an easy clearance. Side foot that and just put it back. But because his head's still rattled from something that's happened 3-4 minutes ago, he needs to get that out of his head, because he will make a mistake for Liverpool. But good play from Fulham down the left-hand side. First
corner of the game, but you don't think set pieces are going to be a big part of this match. Fulham and Liverpool have scored 4 each from dead balls. No team has scored fewer in the top division this season. What has Andreas Pereira got up his sleeve here? It's a Really disappointing delivery, near post, easily cleared by Robertson, and Liverpool had the chance to counter, but Mo Salah with a rare misplaced pass, which means Pereira can pick it up, and he's absolutely sent Cody Gakpo for a hot dog there with a lovely turn on halfway. Pereira sweeps it wide to the far side, and Castagna. It's another fast start from Fulham. It's their trademark under Marco Silva, high energy, high press, and they are getting in Liverpool's faces with the score 0-0 just under 10 minutes played. Robinson back in field to Sasha Lukic, who has the ball, and Szoboszlai goes to try and take it off him. He knocks it square to Robinson. He goes back to Anderson, and now it's with Calvin Bassey, and they just calmed things down for a bit, Fulham.
Yeah, they have. Well, you always know with Marco Silva's team, they like to have possession, but Liverpool won't be bothered about that, because what Liverpool have, they have a fast break, which they proved a few minutes ago, where they can catch Fulham out, so they have to be careful when they're in possession.
They are the best team when it comes to scoring from fast breaks in the Premier League this season, as Iwobi thought he'd forgotten which way he was attacking as he darted all the way into his own penalty area before eventually turning and slapping upfield. But Liverpool have got it back on the left-hand side with Gakpo. Clever ball down the line from Robertson. Early ball in is deflected behind, and it's going to be the first Liverpool corner of the game. And it's our first trip to the G-Tech Stadium, where we can get an update from Aaron Paul.
Brentford 0, Chelsea 0. This one end-to-end, but with limited in the way of concrete opportunities. Kevin Schade has seen a low cross drill into the arms of Robert Sanchez. Keane Lewis Potter, though, has had the best opportunity, pigging the ball in towards the back post, hooked back by Mbeumo. Wissa couldn't latch onto it. 0-0.
We'll be at Spurs shortly, but Liverpool have got a corner kick, and they've got a cluster of red shirts around the penalty spot waiting to attack this whipped ball in from Alexis McAllister. McAllister's delivery is good, and Leno comes and gets a decent fist on it. Szoboszlai will recycle, pops it back out to the Argentinian. McAllister's latest effort is charged down by Sessegnon, and Iwobi tries to knock it forwards for Sessegnon. He's got clear of his man, but has taken it out of place. That gives us a chance to go to Spurs and Henry Moran.
Tottenham 0, Southampton 0. Southampton relegated if they lose this game here in North London. All Spurs so far. Romero's diving header from a corner just beaten away by Aaron Ramsdale. Southampton look like a side heading down. And, forgive me, 0-0 after 11.
Thanks, Henry, and you can hear that in full on Sports Extra at the moment. Online is where you'll get full commentary of Brentford against Chelsea, and on the app as well. And don't forget the Manchester derby coming up for you, and you can see highlights of all of the day's action on Match of the Day 2 tonight as well. Here at the Cottage, still goalless. Lively start though, 12 minutes gone. Openings for both sides as Liverpool take their time with a throw-in just in front of Arne Slot. On the opposite side to us, in front of that state-of-the-art Riverside stand that Clinton's so desperate to try and get himself into. I'm sure that, given all of your connections, you can be in there later if you want to take a stroll around. Wouldn't put it past you, as pass from Lukic is seized upon by Gravenberch. He goes all the way back to Van Dijk, and Liverpool have it on halfway now with Curtis Jones playing in the right-back position once again. And I was wondering if that might be a position that Fulham tried to target. They're strong on their left-hand side anyway, with Robinson getting forwards, but is there even more onus on going down that flank with someone who's not used to playing right-back being there? Yeah,
you could say that. You know what? Curtis Jones is a good footballer, and one thing he has to have is Gravenberch and McAllister have to come over and help him, and Konate as well, but Salah has to help him out, because that's a poor layup from Salah.
Poor play from Fulham, nearly gives the ball to Mo Salah just on the D of their own area. It's rebounded favourably for Fulham though, so Leno can work it to Robinson in that left-back area. Robinson's booming ball up towards Muniz, who's in a wrestle with Konate. He seemed to come away with the ball, but then it was nicked away by Alexis McAllister. Skips away from Berger, goes for goal! Oh! That is a belter from Alexis McAllister to give Liverpool the lead in style. Well, wouldn't you just know it? Alexis McAllister, whose first Liverpool goal was an absolute screamer against Fulham at Anfield at the back end of 2023, has given the league leaders the advantage early on at the Cottage today with a banger. Picked it up, ran at the Fulham backline, and then sent an arrow beyond Leno and into the corner. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1.
Nice, an outstanding goal, to be fair. He gets the ball and he goes past Sanderberg. Listen, McAllister's not the biggest of player. Sanderberg shouldn't be getting shrugged off like that. And then either Anderson or Bassey, you have to go and close that ball down. But take nothing away from McAllister. It is a fantastic strike. He cuts across it, Mark, and it gives Leno absolutely no chance. Leno's been outstanding, but finish from McAllister's absolutely top draw. What a strike.
We were right behind it in our commentary position here. We could see the trajectory on it, and there was simply no saving that. An early goal here, and there's also been an early goal at Spurs. Henry Moran.
Spurs 1, Southampton 0. If it stays like this, Southampton relegated. Son down the left-hand side, cuts it back. There is Brennan Johnson to smash the ball home. Spurs 1, Southampton 0.
Might just relieve some of the pressure on Ange Postecoglou. They've got a big game on Thursday as well.
Is he under pressure? No, I'm only joking. Big pressure.
And Manchester United in Europa League action on Thursday as well. We'll have full commentary of their game against Lyon, as well as Champions League action in the week. PSG against Villa on Wednesday, Arsenal against Real Madrid on Tuesday. Massive week of football, massive week of sport as well. The Masters starts on Thursday. We begin our build-up tomorrow night. 5 Live Golf presented by Mark Chapman, and commentary of all 4 rounds live from Augusta National across 5 Live, Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. You're a golf man, Clinton?
Yeah, I'm not good at it, but I'll watch it. I'll definitely be watching it. I'm more of a frustrated golf player, so I like to just probably talk to everyone when they're having their shots. I'm the annoying caddy.
Liverpool so many strokes ahead of the rest of the field and looking to extend their advantage further, and they have a 1-0 lead over Fulham with 15 minutes on the clock, and it's just given them a bit of an extra spring in their step as Curtis Jones collects just inside Fulham territory and plays it short to the goal scorer Alexis McAllister, who rolls it into Konate. Could have been such a different story after Konate's error almost gift-wrapped a early goal for Fulham. Instead it's Liverpool who have the lead, and McAllister, who scored that sumptuous goal, has now overhit a pass for Mo Salah, so it's drifted out for a Fulham throw in their left-back area. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, this is what Liverpool do. They can start slow, but what they are, they're ruthless in front of goal, and they have players of the quality of like McAllister. The strike's fantastic. You could have 2 or 3 goalkeepers in there, and you're not saving that. Once he strikes it, he cuts across it, it goes into that far netting. It's brilliant from McAllister.
And it's the away fans making all the noise, and the Liverpool supporters have enjoyed their away days this season, unbeaten in their last 17 Premier League matches on the road since they lost at Everton back in April of last year. Their second longest away unbeaten run in the league, and have the advantage on their travels today as well. Van Dijk inside the centre circle for Liverpool, in towards Gravenberch, and it's amazing what a goal does in terms of the feel of the game. Liverpool now with a real swagger and strut to their play.
Yeah, this is what we say when you start football matches on top like Fulham did, have to be clinical.
It's a really poor pass from Szoboszlai. Having said that, it's gifted it to Lukic. Iwobi now has it 30 yards out from goal. No obvious forward pass for him, so he has to retreat and find Bassi on halfway.
Yeah, that's an opportunity there, Alex Iwobi. You want him to be positive. Go and commit Curtis Jones. I've said it many times. Good player, Jones, but he's not a natural fullback.
It's another misplaced pass, this time from Fulham, and Berger was nearly dispossessed by Cody Gakpo. Liverpool 1-0 up as Bassi plays it in towards Iwobi, who collects on the half-turn just shy of halfway. Pokes it across to Robinson, but overhit and out of play, and a Fulham fan in front of us jumps up in frustration.
Yeah, they're frustrated, but I don't know what they expect. Listen, they're playing against the champions, the Liverpool, and I understand their passing hasn't been good enough, but before the goal, Fulham were the better team. But that's what I just say, that is the difference. This is why Liverpool will be the champions, because they've got it all. They can start games slow, but look, there's still a long way to go, but they look clinical at the moment.
Liverpool have won the joint most games by any team in Europe's major leagues in all competitions this season. 35 victories, level with Barcelona, and they've played the joint second most with 48. Only Real Madrid, who have had 50 outings, have played more. And they come here on a run of 4 straight league wins, which is actually their joint best this season. They haven't won 5 in a row since September 2023, but early on that is the situation they're faced with, as the Premier League Match Centre have just tweeted about the call of no penalty for Fulham following that challenge by Kelleher on Pereira. That was checked and confirmed by VAR. It was deemed a coming together and not a reckless action. They also looked at the Van Dijk and Muniz one. We were focusing on the Van Dijk and Muniz one rather than the Kelleher one, but that's the one that the Premier League Match Centre have zoned in on.
Yeah, and there's no penalty for me, so I'm glad they got that right, because I knew I weren't wrong.
Well, I was at Ipswich yesterday. We had a lengthy delay as they checked an offside decision. Hopefully that'll be a thing of the past as of next weekend when semi-automated offsides come in.
I can't wait till they come in. You shouldn't be waiting 8 minutes to decide if it's onside or not. Can't wait.
And hopefully that will speed things up. That's the next bit of tech that's coming in to the Premier League from next weekend's round of fixtures. McAllister drills it through the centre, straight down the throat of Anthony Robinson. No, who's given it away to Diogo Jota cheaply, and Mo Salah's collected it on the right wing. Salah looks up, he's got Bassi for company, comes inside of him easily, and then plays a ball towards the far post. Lovely idea. Gakpo was closing in by the corner of the 6-yard box, couldn't quite get there quickly enough, but what vision from Mo Salah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. You know what? Sometimes I look at Mo Salah and you think to yourself, which Mo Salah is going to turn out? Because sometimes, like just a minute ago, he passed the ball out of play, and I'm like, you don't expect that from world-class players. But then you look at a piece of skill he does there. It's fantastic play, and you know, like it's a warm day, but he's got his hands in between his sleeves. Sometimes it looks like Mo Salah's like he's got that head on, but that's how he is, and I love watching him, and that's why he's been the best player in the Premier League and will be player of the season.
Well, if he does score today as well, Salah will become the outright 5th top Premier League scorer of all time, overtaking Sergio Aguero.
Listen, he goes down. Listen, we're seeing one player, Kevin De Bruyne, go down as one of the best players in the Premier League. Mo Salah will 100% go down as one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League.
And with the title looking all but wrapped up, attention will turn to the contract situations of those 3 players as McAllister clips it into the Fulham area. Leno comes out to make the gather. Fulham trying to fight back, 1-0 down, 20 minutes on the clock. And Andreas Pereira on halfway has got a pass on here for Iwobi, the ex-Everton man, surging down the left wing. He's got 2 Liverpool players in front of him in Konate and Gravenberch, and he's delayed so long that there are plenty more red shirts back there, and Fulham have to retreat once again, and that'll be a frustration for Marco Silva. They've got themselves into advanced areas of the pitch and haven't been able to do much with it.
That's where you look at a winger like Adama Traore, because that's where Fulham lack his pace in the wide areas, even though Sessegnon's got pace, but he hasn't really had a chance to have a run at Robertson. But Iwobi's a very good technical player. I think he's maybe a better number 10 than he is as a wide man. He's not going to be a winger who's going to take on their fullback.
Joachim Andersen up towards halfway, where Muniz felt he was fouled by Konate, and Chris Kavanagh agrees, and you can hear that the Fulham fans feel that's a long overdue free kick that has come their way. So Liverpool 1-0 up here against Fulham. Spurs leading rock bottom Southampton by 1-0, and still goalless between Brentford and Chelsea at the G-Tech, and later it's the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. John Murray and Leon Osman will take you through all of the action there, and we'll have 6:06 later on as well with Robbie and Chris, so make sure you get your calls in, and Chris will be back on the Monday Night Club tomorrow with Rory Smith and Duncan Ferguson with analysis of all of the weekend's talking points, and then it's 5 live golfers. Mark Chapman previews the Masters. Go on, you want to say something about Big Dunk?
No one will be arguing with Big Dunk, that's for sure. Anything Big Dunk says, you all have to agree with him.
Chris Sutton likes to wind people up. He might be back in his box on Monday night, I think. Here is Berger advancing for Fulham. We trail by 1-0. Pereira with the first time ball in towards Muniz, misses him. Oh, what a goal! Sessegnon with the leveller for Fulham. It came back to him in a flash, and he flashed it beyond Kelleher. What an instinctive finish that was from Ryan Sessegnon. 3 goals in his last 5 league games, and that was a rocket to make it Fulham 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, it was good play down the right-hand side from Pereira, and Konate wants a foul. He does want a foul, but he's not going to get a foul because Curtis Jones doesn't read the flight of the ball, and it hits his thigh and comes out to Sessegnon. Once it comes to Sessegnon, it's a brilliant finish from Sessegnon. Outstanding finish. He gives Kelleher no chance, but it's because Konate's gone up for the ball, and Curtis Jones can't see it till late. Once he sees it late, he can't sort his feet out, and when it comes to Sessegnon, he drills it into the bottom, but he wants a push. Konate wants a push. I don't think he'll get that.
Well, it looks soft if they are going to have a check of it. It is Matthew Donoghue who is the video assistant referee, if he is taking a look at it. We haven't seen anything on our screens to suggest that there will be a delay while VAR inspect it. The ball is on the centre circle at the moment, and Chris Kavanagh doesn't look like he's going to delay any longer. And no, the goal is good. Liverpool are going to restart play here, so it is 1-1.
Yeah, it's a good finish from Sessegnon, and you know, like, I'm happy for Sessegnon because he's had a lot of injuries, and he obviously went to Tottenham, didn't work out. He came through the ranks at Fulham, and he's back to his club, and you just want him to see revitalise his career.
That's 3 in 5 league games for him. had scored 2 in his previous 60 Premier League games. So a real purple patch for Sessegnon, and now Fulham riding the crest of a wave. Robinson's ball in is handy. Robertson was underneath it to clear. And Szoboszlai tries to tickle it further onto Mo Salah, but didn't get enough pace on it. Fulham have it back, and they're really enjoying the boost that they get from scoring a goal, just as Liverpool did with their opener from McAllister. 1-1 now as Iwobi's ball in is punched clear by Kelleher, collides with his own man. Fulham have got it back with Pereira. Couldn't quite jink away from a cluster of red shirts, so Liverpool will bring it clear with Alexis McAllister, but he's now crowded out and outnumbered by white shirts, so Fulham will get themselves a throw. And let's head back to the G-Tech. It was goalless last time we heard from Aaron Paul.
Still is 23 minutes gone here. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0. Brentford creating plenty down this left-hand side. The 1v1 between Kevin Schade and Malo Gusto is turning into a fascinating battle, because Schade has got the better of the fullback many a times. He cut him beautifully at one point, had far too much time to think, aimed for the shot, spotted the on-running Wissa, whose shot was deflected up and into the arms of Robert Sanchez. Otherwise, not much going on. Really feisty 1v1s all over the pitch. 0-0.
Thanks, Aaron. 25 minutes gone here. Likewise, I would imagine, at the G-Tech, and also a 2 o'clock kickoff at Tottenham Hotspur, who were winning by a 0-0 last time we were with Henry Moran.
And they are still winning by a 0-0 as things stand. Southampton heading down today. They had actually just hit the post prior to the goal going in. Sulemana and a combination of Vicario and the upright keeping the ball out. Then Brennan Johnson swept home after a fine move. All Spurs really. 25 gone. Spurs 1, Southampton 0.
1 each here as Fulham tried to defend a Liverpool attack, and Szoboszlai has to retreat with Iwobi on his shoulder. It's back with Jones. Good game this so far, midway through the first half. Had all the ingredients for being one, given the way that Fulham play. And the conditions here beautiful as well, as Gakpo twists and turns down by the left corner of the penalty area. Couldn't quite lever his way beyond Castagna and Anderson, so Fulham have got the ball back, but now lose it as it's played straight to Virgil van Dijk. Bit scrappy in centre field at the moment, and it's turned over by Fulham, who have it with Sasha Lukic. The Serbian plays it short to Bassi, who's worked it to Robinson. Robinson coming down this left-hand side again. That's where we thought Fulham would have most of their joy, but it was on the right flank that they got the leveller. Here's Iwobi, though, down by the left byline. First time ball in from him towards the near post. Muniz couldn't get there. Bit of an awkward clearance from Alexis McAllister, and now Jota, just clever centre-forward play there. Shielded the ball, Bassi was nibbling him, waited and waited, and eventually the whistle came.
Yeah, but Liverpool do have a problem here, and we were speaking it before. He doesn't want to run back Salah. Salah does not want to be tracking Robinson, so Curtis Jones has a problem where it's a lot of 2-on-1s with Iwobi going down that side, so that's where they're having difficulties at the moment. So I know we talk about how good he is going forward, but he has to help out, has to help Curtis Jones out, or if not, Gravenberch has to, and Salah can cheat up front, and then once Liverpool win it, they can break on it. But he's been quiet. He's probably been their least effective player so far, Mohamed Salah.
Pretty quiet against Fulham at Anfield in December in the 2-2 draw. Failed to have a shot on target for the only time in a Premier League game this season, so perhaps they have got his number slightly.
Now you know what's going to happen. Now you said that. Now, It only takes a second for that man.
It was a suggestion.
Genius. Okay.
A statement.
All right.
Here is Kelleher, and the lovely Sunshine here, who's taken a risk trying to get it away from Muniz. Well, we saw Konate almost come a cropper early on, and now the Liverpool keeper tried to be a bit too clever with the ball at his feet and almost lost it to Muniz.
Yeah, he did, to be fair. He's kind of was looking for a pass, and there was nothing on, and Muniz done ever so well to close him down, but he managed to deal with it again at the second attempt.
So 1 each here, and it was 1 each between the other title contender Arsenal and Everton yesterday. Here is Robinson surging upfield. Iwobi's in space on the left. He's gone for Sessegnon instead. Wrong option really, because Iwobi had the room. No Liverpool player near him. Sessegnon levered off the ball, and it goes through to Kelleher.
Yeah, he's got. Listen, it's good defending from Andy Robertson. Full credit to him. People have been critical of him this season. He matched the run, stayed with him. For me, Robinson's the wrong pass. Iwobi was free, and it would have been in a one-on-one situation with Jones. But Liverpool a bit sloppy in possession the last 5 minutes.
You can see highlights of all of today's Premier League games on Match of the Day 2. Mark Chapman, Shay Given and Troy Deeney on BBC One at 10:30. Commentary of the Champions League matches involving the English sides this week as well. Arsenal at home to Real Madrid on Tuesday, Villa go to PSG on Wednesday, and then we've got Manchester United away at Lyon in the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final, and that's also the day that the Masters gets underway. We will have full commentary of all 4 rounds from the Augusta National and 5 Live Golf tomorrow night. After the Monday Night Club, we'll preview the tournament as well. Robinson for Liverpool towards Gravenberch on halfway, who's got away from Pereira, now advances another few yards. His pass though is well behind Mo Salah, who's got to scamper back to collect it, and now plays a flat pass into the feet of Jones. He's got Bassi all over him immediately, nibbling once and twice, and Jones is hoping for a free kick. Bassi staying just about the right side of the law, and Jones doesn't share that view though.
No, it would have been a foul. Listen, it's good defending from Bassi. He's not letting him turn, but it would have been a foul. And it's because referee Kavanagh, he still had the ball.
Ball is popped forwards for Sessegnon to chase, and Van Dijk has to come across to deal with it. And you noticed earlier Virgil van Dijk having a go at Konate for not playing the ball quickly enough. He's turned around and given a mouthful to someone else for something he's not happy about.
Yeah, but he's captain. He leads by example, and he knows it hasn't been good enough from Liverpool. They were winning the game from a spectacular goal by McAllister, but Fulham have been the better team.
McAllister's rode a challenge from Pereira really well, and now plays it into the path of Gravenberch on halfway for Liverpool. Cuts inside of the challenge from Iwobi into the feet of Alexis McAllister. Jones again nibbled at by Bassi, and he's won the ball, and it's Iwobi coming down this left-hand side once again. Liverpool a bit light on that flank. Bassi's up there as well. It's Alex Iwobi with the carry. Now it's on to Bassi. Gets to the byline, can't get the cross in because Jones is over there to make the block at the expense of a Fulham corner. Throwing in confidence, Fulham.
He is, because Bassi, centre-half, I don't know what he was doing. He won the ball and he thought, nah, I'm going. It's hot out there, and he's made a good run, to be fair, and he's done well, but he started the game really well. Bassi is someone who I like. And when he first went to Fulham, he had a hard time, but it's good partnership with him and Anderson.
And the 2 Nigerians combining well there, and I actually saw Bassi in the game against Palace here in the FA Cup get himself in a similar position. He created a really good opportunity for them by that sort of underlapping run inside of his winger as Pereira gets ready to take this corner then for Fulham. Half an hour gone, lively game, 1 each, as Pereira bends it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Easy for Van Dijk to get a firm header away though. Sessegnon will get onto the loose ball, and Robinson has played a lovely pass to find Andreas Pereira, who's got a crossing opportunity by the corner of the area. He's gone for goal instead and just drags it wide of the upright. Well, they backed off there. It was an invitation for Pereira, which he accepted, but he couldn't get in on target.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. Like Van Dijk clearly told everyone to get up, but no one came out onto this right-hand side, and it was a good opportunity for Pereira. Maybe the wrong decision, because Sessegnon made a good run outside him and maybe would have been inside, but onside there. But yeah, frustrated with the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, but they always get round it, Liverpool. This is Fulham's spell at the moment.
Now they generally find a way, don't they? They've found a way into trouble here, given away to Iwobi. Konate recovers to make a good challenge, but it's still not fully away. Iwobi inside the area, got a load of red shirts in front of him, goes for goal! Fulham have turned it around. Alex Iwobi puts them in front, straight through Kelleher, and what a good passage this has been for Fulham. Liverpool led, but now the league leaders trail. The ex-Everton man Iwobi on hand to smash home after Liverpool tried to be clever. One time too many and pay the price. Fulham 2, Liverpool 1.
As much as I praised Robertson before, I do not know what he's doing with this square pass. It is terrible from Andy Robertson. He's a much better. He tries to play a diagonal to Jones. Iwobi does well, and they defend it well. It's a good block from Konate, but they keep it alive. Credit to Pereira, and once it comes to him, he does get fortunate. It takes a big deflection off Andy Robertson, but good strike from Alex Iwobi, and it's what Fulham deserve. I said Liverpool haven't started. Fulham thoroughly deserve it, but poor play from Andy Robertson.
Well, Iwobi absolutely smashed that. So much venom on it. It did take a fairly chunky touch off Robertson, which deceived Kelleher in the Liverpool goal, off his chest and beyond the Irish international. And Fulham, wow, what a response to falling behind. And Liverpool now need to turn this around themselves, although they have picked up the most points from losing positions in the Premier League this season, so they won't be too fazed by it. But maybe Mikel Arteta is sat in the sun watching this somewhere and thinking that things aren't necessarily over just yet.
No, they're over. They should have won yesterday.
Come on, Clinton, I'm trying to keep the interest alive.
No,
for the
they're
rest of the
still
season.
interested. Don't get me wrong. They're interested, but it's a big result if Fulham go on and get the 3 points for European places. That's for sure. But I think Liverpool can't play this bad.
So another goal here, and we've had another in North London for Henry Moran.
Where Tottenham lead by 2-0. Lucas Bergvall diverting home. It's Tottenham 2, Southampton 0, and Saints are heading back to the Championship.
And Diogo Jota's heading into the Fulham area. He's just overrun it, but the clearance has come to Mo Salah. So Bosley for Salah. Liverpool trail by 2-1 with a touch over 10 minutes of the first half left to play, and Fulham good value for their advantage as well. There was a bit of fortune about the way the ball went in, but they have been on top, and Liverpool have been sloppy. They've got a chance for a leveller here. Jota inside the 6-yard box, got a touch to it. Anderson able to scramble it away. First time that we've seen Diogo Jota really able to latch onto anything inside the Fulham box.
Yeah, it's good play between Gakpo and Robertson. Really good play, and he does ever so well to get to the byline, but good defending from Anderson. Very good defending. Good game, Mark.
Yeah, it is very open, high energy as well, as Robinson comes forward and is seen off by Curtis Jones, but surely Kelleher will just bang this one away. He does, because we've seen him and the Liverpool defence, Konate, Robertson and Kelleher, all tried to be a bit too clever. Kelleher and Konate got away with it, Robertson didn't.
They've struggled. I think Curtis Jones and Van Dijk have defended well, but Robertson and Konate, it's been a struggle, and times that for Kelleher. But credit to Jones, he's not a natural right back, but he's doing ever so well at the moment.
And we thought that might be the weak spot Fulham could exploit, but he's got a job in his hands here as Iwobi's got the wrong side of Jones. Konate's covering those, so it's forced Iwobi wide. Jones now one-on-one with him. Iwobi with a feint and goes for a goal with a bender that Kelleher gets a hand to. Well, I'm not sure it was going in, but I don't think Kelleher was either, so he pats it behind for a Fulham corner, and Fulham well on top here now.
Well, you know what, let me tell you something, and I've been saying it the whole... Curtis Jones has just gave Mo Salah a mouthful. He's saying, you've got to come back and help me. It's not my natural position, but you have to come back and stop that pass into Iwobi. You're leaving him isolated, and Salah's saying something back to him, but he's right, Curtis Jones. Salah has to get back and help him. That's where the problem's coming down this left-hand side.
Fulham corner, and it's Fulham's lead at the moment by 2-1. And Liverpool, well, I wouldn't say they're rattled, but they're not quite looking their usual selves, and I think Crossy was saying ahead of the game that that's been the general pattern. They've been getting results without being as terrific as they were in the first part of the season, but they generally do find a way. They need to find a way back from 2-1 down at the moment as the corner comes in towards Anderson. Iwobi gets onto the loose ball. It's a real up and under from him that goes towards the edge of the area. What a touch by Muniz to get the wrong side of Van Dijk. Oh, it's free! Fulham 3-1 up against Liverpool. Quite incredible from Marco Silva's men. A wonderful touch from Muniz to get away from Van Dijk, and then a clinical finish beyond Kelleher. Some turnaround this from Fulham, and some job Liverpool have got on their hands now. Fulham 3, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, we need to see the replay. It's either brilliant from Virgil van Dijk's moaning. He might be moaning because he's just been done by a great piece of skill, and it's a brilliant piece of skill. I'm watching it here. I can't see no handball. Virgil van Dijk has just been done by a great piece of skill. Hold the hand up, Virgil, and just say he's done you with a bit of... No, I can't see. Maybe he flicks it and he thinks it comes off his arm, and that's the only thing they would be looking at. But I think that goal will stand. What a piece of skill from Muniz. He shows great strength from Virgil van Dijk, and there's no handball there at all. Great piece of skill, and yeah, brilliant. And I've never seen, you don't see strikers do that to Virgil van Dijk, and it's a really good finish through Kelleher's legs into that, and they deserve it because Liverpool have been nowhere near good enough.
Brilliance from the Brazilian. That is his 8th goal in the Premier League this season. 6 of them have come as a substitute, but making the most of being given the chance from the word go today. And they did have a brief check of it, but it has been rubber stamped by VAR. So it is Fulham 3, Liverpool 1. Magnificent skill from Muniz. But what about the assist from Iwobi?
Yeah, let's say it will go down as a very good assist from Iwobi, but I don't think he meant to do that. I'm going to say Muniz's bit of skill was the highlight of the day, to be fair. And Virgil van Dijk, that shows he's human. Go and have a go at him. He might be one of the best defenders in the world, but you've got to give Muniz his brilliant skill and a really good finish when he gets into that position.
Well, Fulham gave Liverpool the scare at Anfield. It was a 10-man Liverpool, though, when Robertson was sent off fairly early on. They are 3-1 up against the full complement this afternoon, with 7 minutes to go until the interview. What news from North London? Henry Moran.
Well, that Lucas Bergveld goal has been disallowed for the tightest of offsides. 5 minutes it took to change it. His first Premier League goal will have to wait. Spurs 1, Southampton 0.
Liverpool looking to try and get back into this. 3-1 down as Gakpo chases a diagonal down the left-hand side. Cracking entertainment here at the Cottage as the ball goes out for a Fulham throw. That gives us a chance to go across West London and hear from Aaron Paul.
7 minutes to the break here. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0. Brentford still creating the most, but they're limited to half chances. Brian and Burma with the best of them, cutting in off the right onto his left foot, shot towards goal, drilled into the side netting. Mikhail Damsgaard has planted a really good opportunity from a free kick over the bar of Robert Sanchez as well. 0-0.
Thanks very much, Aaron. And don't forget, there's full commentary of Spurs against Southampton on Sports Extra for you at the moment as well. Tottenham leading in that one, all square at the G-Tech, and Fulham 3-1 up against Liverpool as Arne Slot just tries to get some instructions out to his players. He can't really have too many complaints about the scoreline. He'll have complaints about the way his side have played so far, but Fulham are good value for this.
Yeah, Fulham have been the better team. I said Liverpool took the lead and started playing after McAllister scored a spectacular goal. But it's been Fulham that have been the best team for the 40 minutes that we've had so far, for sure.
Fulham have only won one of the last 15 games they've played against Liverpool in all competitions, losing 10 of them. But they're in charge at the moment with 5 to go until half-time. Liverpool have got themselves a free kick just by the centre circle in the Fulham half, taken quickly by Alexis McAllister, and now it's Ibrahima Konate into the feet of Curtis Jones. Thing is, Fulham are 3-1 up. It could have been even worse for Liverpool with those two bad errors not punished. Konate and Kelleher giving the ball away inside their own penalty area, and here is Ibrahima Konate on the ball for the Reds right now. Into Mo Salah, who has been mightily quiet, and I did suggest earlier that Fulham might have a good plan for him, given that they kept him at arm's length in the game at Anfield earlier on this season. But famous last words, as Clinton says, because you say that he's not done much and then he pops up with a couple of goals and an assist or two as well. But Van Dijk has now put the ball straight out of play for a throw to Fulham, and that's when you know things aren't quite going well.
No, but these players are human, and I hear people praise them. They are top players, but I don't care who you are as a player. You put them under pressure and you can make them make mistakes, and that's what Virgil van Dijk's done. He's done that for the goal as well, great bit of skill. So put good players under pressure. I think people show a lot of respect to Virgil van Dijk, maybe too much, but he is a top defender. Go and have a go at him. He is human, he is world class, but he is human as well.
And a world class touch from Muniz beat him, and then he beat Kelleher to make it 3-1 to Fulham, and we have 4 minutes of normal time left in what has been a pulsating first half in wonderful conditions down here in the sunshine by the River Thames, and the Fulham fans very much enjoying this after what's been a tough little period for them, going out of the FA Cup with a bit of a whimper to Crystal Palace here in the quarter-finals. And then
a lot of teams are losing to Palace at the moment, so they shouldn't take, they shouldn't be harmed by that. We're a special team at the minute.
Very well said. Here is Konate for Liverpool. Square pass to Virgil van Dijk for the Reds. 3-1 down. This is not a very familiar situation for them or their travelling supporters. I mentioned that long unbeaten run, 17 Premier League games on the road without defeat since they were beaten a year ago at Everton. The second longest away run in the league in their history. Well, we had a disallowed goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium not that long ago. Have we had a legitimate one now, Henry Moran?
I think we have. Can't see this being ruled out. Spurs 2, Southampton 0. A second of the afternoon for Brennan Johnson. Lovely, delicate finish. Arguments amongst the Southampton defenders who are heading down today. Spurs 2, Southampton 0.
Thanks very much, Henry. So a scoreline many would have expected there. Not here, though, perhaps, with Fulham leading Liverpool by 3-1, and certainly an upset in the Scottish Premiership earlier with St Johnstone beating Celtic by 1-0. It's not going to really affect the title race north of the border, but it might mean that St Johnstone have got some aid in their survival fight. Here is Virgil van Dijk inside his own penalty area. That's been an area Liverpool have had problems in all afternoon as he plays a more conventional pass forwards this time. It's launched back into Liverpool territory, but the flag is raised over on the far side by Stuart Burt, and Liverpool quickly underway again. 2 minutes of regulation time left in the first half. Fulham 3, Liverpool 1. McAllister gave Liverpool the lead in style, but Sessegnon Iwobi and then Muniz have turned things around for Marco Silva's men, and Van Dijk has to turn around and not play a forward pass, has to go all the way back to Kelleher again, has some choice words for his teammates, and now it's McAllister who plays an errant pass. Van Dijk has to go and chase after it, and he crashes it off Sessegnon out of play. Half-time coming at a good time for Liverpool.
It is. He can be frustrated, but he's still got to be better on the ball. Virgil is captain, he can have a go at his players, but he's still got to be better on the ball as well. Like, lead by example. Yeah, your team are not good enough, but Liverpool need a half-time at the minute for sure, because they're nowhere near good enough in this first half.
Liverpool, the only team in the top 4 divisions unbeaten away from home this season. They've got the most points, most wins, most goals on their travels. They're on the back foot. Iwobi going for goal again from distance, and this is straight down the throat of Kelleher. Well, I mentioned half-time coming at a good time for Liverpool. Fulham don't want this half to end.
No, they don't. It's Soberslide this time. He just plays a blind ball when it comes to Iwobi. It feels like how Iwobi scored through the Robertson bad pass, and they just look rattled at the moment, Liverpool.
A big half-time team talk for Arne Slot coming up. And you wonder if there might be changes made as well, because they've been flat, Liverpool. Wonder if the Merseyside derby took something out of them, but they did have an extra day to recover compared to Everton, who played at lunchtime yesterday at Goodison. No real excuse in that department, is there?
No, I wouldn't. When you're winning football matches, you're not tired more, and that's the one thing I'll say. They're not tired. It's just, you got to credit Fulham. Fulham have been very good, and Liverpool have been off it so far.
Tim Morrison with us on 5 Live, with Liverpool 3-1 down as we head towards stoppage time at the end of the first half, and Fulham understandably in no hurry to get play back underway. Tottenham leading Southampton by 2-0, still waiting for the breakthrough at the G-Tech between Brentford and Chelsea. That's an important game for Brentford's European hopes, and Chelsea trying to ensure that they finish in the Champions League places as well. No Cole Palmer in the starting lineup for Chelsea today. Remember highlights of all of the Premier League action on Match of the Day 2 tonight, with Mark Chapman, Shay Given and Troy Deeney. BBC One at 10:30 for that. 3 additional minutes at the end of this first half, which Liverpool have a throw-in, which is hurled towards Gravenberch. It's another fairly hopeless ball forwards, and Mo Salah can't really do much with it, and it trickles through to Bernd Leno.
Yeah, to be fair, Mo Salah, you say he's been quiet, but he hasn't really had no service or anything to go. They haven't got a head of steam, Liverpool, and that's down to Robertson. He's winning that battle with Mo Salah at the minute.
Joachim Andersen just outside his own penalty area for Fulham, into the feet of Sander Berge. Berger's low flat pass up towards Rodrigo Muniz, who's rewarded his inclusion from the word go this afternoon, and has now won a free kick after he was clipped just inside his own half. And Fulham in no hurry to take this as they lead 3-1 with half-time approaching. And now there's a bit of a set-to between Andreas Pereira and Alexis McAllister, a bit of South American set-to between the Brazilian and Argentinian there. He's not too happy with the challenge that was made on his compatriot.
No, he wasn't, but it's Van Dijk. But yeah, he doesn't need to get involved, Pereira. McAllister's a better footballer than him, so he needs to relax.
Was that the back chat you gave if anyone used to
100%,
square up to you?
Yeah.
Get back in your lane?
Yeah,
I'm Tim Morrison,
lane, yeah.
Do you know who I am?
I'm McAllister. Come and talk to me. He's won the World Cup, McAllister. You can't really argue with him at the moment. And he looks like he's going to win a Premier League. So I'd be saying that to Pereira. But that's just football banter that you have on the pitch, and, you know, when you're frustrated.
Well, Brazil certainly had the rug pulled out from under them by Argentina recently in that World Cup qualifier, so McAllister can throw that Pereira's way too. As Fulham get ready to take this free kick, we've got just over a minute of stoppage time left at the first half, and it wasn't the greatest free kick. Robinson had to improvise to get it further forwards. Muniz playing it in towards Sessegnon by the D of the area. Kanate stuck out a boot and got an important touch, and then Sessegnon trying to win it back from Gravenberch has fouled him. Liverpool get the free kick, which Van Dijk is looking to take quickly, but into the final minute of additional time in a first half that Fulham have roared back into, having fallen behind to Alexis McAllister's rocket beyond Bernd Leno, as Kelleher takes his time with the ball at his feet again. Closed down by Pereira, but he gets it upfield. Bassi has won it back though for Fulham. Berger in centre field, goes back to Anderson. Anywhere will do from the big Dane as he launches it towards halfway. Iwobi can't control it, it goes out, and we've got 30 seconds left in this first half. Curtis Jones will take the throw for Liverpool, who came here on a 4-match winning run in the Premier League, and with that unbeaten away record in the division this season as well. But it's under serious threat here as Lukic is clattered by Gravenberch just inside Liverpool territory. He throws his arms up in the air, Ryan Gravenberch, but it looked a pretty nailed-on foul by the Dutchman, which gives Fulham the chance to take us through to half-time. Robinson just with a word in the ear of Andreas Pereira. Fulham have lost 5 of their last 10 in the league. Has been a bit of a sticky period for Marco Silva, with Fulham only being beaten in 4 of their opening 20 league games of the campaign. But this would really get them back on track, not just in terms of points, but the feather in their cap and the swagger it would give them if they were to defeat the champions-elect here this afternoon. Andreas Pereira with the free kick following that foul by Gravenberch, and it's picked up by Sander Berger inside the area. He's tried to play it to Anderson wide on the right, and there goes the half-time whistle from Chris Kavanagh. Well, Liverpool got off to the better start in terms of Alexis McAllister firing them in front with a brilliant hit, but Arne Slot's side came unstuck after that. They got away with a few errors, but they couldn't get away from the 3 goals that Fulham scored. Sessegnon flashed one in to make it 1 each. Iwobi, with the aid of a deflection, put Fulham in front, and Muniz extended the advantage after a lovely touch to kick clear of Virgil van Dijk and then steer the ball beyond Kelleher and in, and Clinton Morrison. Fulham deservingly 3-1 up.
Thoroughly deserve it. Really good game of football in the first half. This game's not over. Liverpool can't play that bad. I've seen them this season, and Liverpool are an outstanding team. Arne Slot might make changes, and usually when he makes changes, his changes do work, but Liverpool ain't started for me. Apart from that spectacular goal from McAllister, full credit must go to Fulham. They've been the better team.
Well, Grand National weekend, we're not expecting a Devon lock from Liverpool, but they do trail here to Fulham by 3 goals to 1.
Clinton, Fulham have been excellent, and if they were to win this game, it would take them up to 8th, which, you know, if they could stay there to the end of the season, that's European football. So, like you say, want to make sure we give them all the credit they deserve for that first half performance. Have to add as well, though, Liverpool, and kind of especially Virgil van Dijk, a little bit like in the Merseyside derby in the week, for someone who often looks inhumanly good, he's looking quite mortal at the moment.
Yeah, he's not happy with his teammates. So obviously, he's the captain, but listen, also his defending has to be better. I know when he scores a fantastic goal, it's a good turn, and that can happen. Sometimes you have to hold your hand up and say, but even when he's on the ball and he's getting frustrated with his teammates, and he looks proper frustrated, but if he gets frustrated, it has a knock-on effect on the whole team, and that's what I think that's happened at the moment. You got Mo Salah on the right. Of course, he hasn't even touched the ball. I probably counted he touched the ball about 6 or 7 times. So, as I say, we give credit to Fulham, but Liverpool do look rattled at the moment. But it's a sign of a good manager what he does at half-time on the slot, because he'll be looking at the problems that they're having on the pitch. And that Curtis Jones, even though I think he's done all right, I don't think he's getting any help, and they're causing problems, Robinson and Iwobi.
OK, Clinton, Mark, thank you very much. So, Fulham 3, Liverpool 1, half-time, second half commentary to come on 5 Live. For Fulham, it's all about that top 8 in European football. For Chelsea, it's about the top 5 in the Champions League. Half-time in their game at Brentford, Aaron Paul.
Absolute snooze fest. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0. Chance of boring Chelsea have rattled around the G-Tech in this first half in what's been a really scrappy battle, but a battle which Brentford have failed to capitalise and take advantage of. Wissam and Burmo have both had shots easily collected by Robert Sanchez, whilst Mikael Damsgaard has planted a free kick from just outside the D, well over the bar. Chelsea have offered nothing. Mark Flecken has been sunbathing down to our right. Noni Madueke with their sole effort on target, and you think Enzo Maresca will certainly turn to some of his attacking talent on the bench to give his side a boost in the second half. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0.
Still playing, I think, in the first half at Spurs, Henry Moran.
They are deep in added time. Spurs 2, Southampton 0. The visitors heading down today thanks to 2 Brennan Johnson goals, unless something quite dramatic happens in the second half. The first was a fine move down the left and swept into the roof of the net. There could be a chance of another goal here, beaten away by Ramsdale. Good effort from Spence. In between Johnson's first goal and his second, Bergvall thought he'd scored. A VAR offside, took forever. You sense more chances will come for him after the break. Johnson's second goal, lovely little flick round the corner into the bottom corner to give Spurs this 2-0 lead. It's much needed for them. For Southampton, this has been limp, lethargic, and leading them towards the trapdoor. Deep in added time, Spurs 2, Southampton 0. Half-time whistle any second.
Yeah, their relegation about to be confirmed by the looks of it. What about the Challenge Cup quarter-final? Warrington St Helens. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, Warrington 6, St Helens 0. A knock on by Dayon Sambu gave Warrington the field position. They tried the juggernauts first in the shape of Zane Musgrove and James Harrison. That didn't work, so they turned to the sports car. Matt Duffy zipping through off a George Williams inside ball. And Warrington, in this brutal ballet, leads St Helens by 6 points to 0.
Already today in Scotland, St Johnstone, big win for them over Celtic, 1-0 at home. Slim survival hopes, you could say, for St Johnstone, but that's a massive victory. Live score for you as the split approaches in a couple of games' time is Hearts 0, Dundee United 0. So we've got second half commentary to come on all three of those Premier League games here at Old Trafford, the Manchester derby in full at 4:30. So more build-up to come from here. Let's get the news on 5 Live now with Lisa McCormick.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Foreign Secretary David Lammy has criticised the Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch for backing Israel's decision to turn away 2 Labour MPs. Abtissam Mohammed and Yuan Yang had intended to visit the West Bank. The Israeli government accused them of planning to spread hate speech against the country. Police in Lincolnshire have named a father and daughter who were killed in a fire at a caravan park in Ingledmills. 48-year-old Lee Baker and his 10-year-old daughter Esme are from the Nottingham area. 2 16-year-old boys have been arrested on suspicion of murder after a boy aged 17 was stabbed to death in West London. Police have named him as Kieran Charles. He died at the scene in Shepherd's Bush. And a 25-year-old man's been arrested over a large wildfire in County Down. More than 100 firefighters worked through the night in the Moor Mountains to try to bring it under control.
We're Liverpool, and Liverpool's ours.
On BBC iPlayer.
If it gets out, we've got a hole in our supply lines. We'll have every flavour of mafia.
Brand new drama.
Is life good?
Life's good with you.
Why don't we just walk away? You and me.
Even if I walk away, I'm still a target.
The good life.
This city is ours.
This will end, I swear.
Watch on BBC iPlayer. This is 5 Live Sports
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So, half-time scores in the Premier League. Second half commentary here on 5 Live on the way. Fulham 3, Liverpool 1. You'll be able to listen to Tottenham 2, Southampton 0. That's the half-time score on 5 Sports Extra when it gets back underway. On the BBC Sport website, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0 is the half-time score. Sale away to defending champions Toulouse in the last 16 of the Champions Cup today. Kicks off at 3 o'clock. Adam Whitty.
This perhaps the biggest challenge in club rugby for Sale as they aim to pull off what would be a remarkable shock in the south of France to reach their 4th Champions Cup quarter-final. There's no Antoine Dupont for the 6-time winners, who for comparison are aiming for their 24th last 8 match, and they're stacked with international giants like Marchand, Ramos and Capuazzo. The hosts have won 8 of their last 9. They won all 4 of their pool stage games. But Alex Sanderson Sale have a lot of talent themselves. They welcome back Ben Curry as one of 5 changes from last week's Premiership win against Northampton, with England internationals George Ford, Tom Roebuck and Asher Opoku-Forgeot named in a full-strength Sharks. It would perhaps be the biggest shock in European club rugby history if they were to win at the Stadium de Toulouse, but you never know. Kick off at 3.
You never know. It would be a big shock if St Johnstone stayed up in the Scottish Premiership this season. However, their gap to Dundee, second bottom, is now just 5 points. I say just. They have a 1-0 victory, St Johnstone, this afternoon over Celtic, the champions-elect. Let's hear from the St Johnstone boss, Simo Valakari, speaking to Gavin Wallace.
We needed this, the situation where we are. So we needed this. We needed this performance after the last weekend. You know, we didn't perform against Hibs. So yeah, very, very proud of our players.
I think the question is, where has that St Johnstone team been this season? But since you've come in, things have changed a lot. Did you see something like this coming? Did you have confidence that you were going to get a big result at some point?
That's the thing, you know, because the results, they have not been as we have been wanting. So as a manager, it's very difficult to come outside and see. I see what we are doing. I see that the boys have it. It's just a matter of time. It will come out there, because the results are not coming, because you will be judged what's happening on the field, and we are not coming. But I have knew that all the time, that we have that. The boys have that, and you know, I've said it many times. I have been waiting this moment that comes the game. We scored 2, 3, 4 goals, you know. But today, okay, it was a defending display. We needed heroics from our goalkeeper, what a saves. Everyone defending, followed the plan, work for each other, and then this is possible.
Simo Valakari, the head coach of St Johnstone. Live score you from the Scottish Premiership is Hearts 0, Dundee United 0. In F1, Red Bull's Max Verstappen has won the Japanese Grand Prix. Lando Norris was second for McLaren ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri. So Norris leads Verstappen by 1 point in the Drivers' Championship. Let's hear from the Dutchman. Here he is.
4 in a row, of course, is great, but very different scenarios compared to, I would say, the last few years here. Today was key to start first. They were trying to get into my DRS, but it's very hard to follow around here. I think also the track temp today helped us. Less overheating from the tyres naturally when the track is cooler, just incredibly happy with this result.
Touched on it there. Can you take us into the cockpit? I mean, how much pressure were you feeling from the McLarens behind? And we did also see that moment exiting the pits. Could we just get your take on that as well?
I was quite calm. I mean, I've been in this position before, but just trying to focus on my own laps, trying to not make any mistakes, making sure that the balance was drivable. Because, of course, throughout the stint, the tyre life, it definitely changes the balance a bit, front to rear. But we managed everything really well. Of course, she's very happy with this result. And then, of course, with that pit lane thing, it was tight.
That's Max Verstappen. We are live from inside Old Trafford. Full commentary this afternoon, 4:30 of the Manchester derby. Absolutely bathed in sunshine. I think I said the last time I was here ahead of the Arsenal game, you could really feel that spring was springing, because for the first time you could sort of see the big coats had gone away. This afternoon, for a lot of Manchester United fans that we can see around us already inside Old Trafford, it's very much T-shirt weather. So much going on. Fans protest that we're expecting more of from Manchester United supporters this afternoon, unhappy at ticket prices. The last Manchester derby for Kevin De Bruyne as well. Correspondent John Murray is with us. There's a lot going on today. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Steve. Yes, there is. But one thing that's not going on is that I think over many, many years now, if these two Manchester clubs had met either here or in the other stadium at this time of year when the weather's like this, either one or other, or actually even both, would have had a say in the title race. But clearly that's not the case this time. But you're absolutely right. There is still plenty to hold the interest.
So the protest, we were here 20 days ago when it was fans marching outside, and you could actually smell from inside the commentary position the cordite from the flares. This is almost the opposite. It's a sit-in.
Yeah, it's another match here and another protest. And if you remember back to then, it was in the aftermath of that Sir Jim Ratcliffe gave his big round of media interviews. An excellent interview with Dan Rowan, which I suspect is still on BBC Sounds, and any Manchester United fan who hasn't heard that, I'd have a listen to that, because it's very interesting. And then, of course, they announced the new stadium as well, the plans for the new stadium. However, things are still rumbling on that are really upsetting hardcore Manchester United fans. So it's the 1958 group that have organised what they intend to be a sit-in today. And you're absolutely right, ticket prices are one of the things that they are taking issue with. Obviously they're taking huge issue with the ownership of Manchester United and the decisions that are being made. But yeah, ticket prices rises without consultation. The prices for OAP, so those concessions. Also this matter of they say 500 fans are going to be moved from next season, fans who've sat together for decades, because there's going to be a sort of tunnel club style situation that we've seen in quite a number of other football grounds, Manchester City for example, Brighton as well, and they say, the 1958 group, quote, football is more than just being a number on a seat where fans can be replaced by more lucrative customers. So we will have, if this goes to plan, a sit-in inside Old Trafford, and rather as at Tottenham a few weeks ago, it'll be a case of just saying what the effect of that is and how many people get involved.
Leon Osman is with us for commentary this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve.
Every time that we watch Manchester City in person now could well be the last time that we watch Kevin De Bruyne, which I just think from a neutral's perspective is actually quite sad.
Yeah, I mean, I make it a similar feeling to how I felt when that David Silva was leaving Manchester City, and what a wonderful servant he'd been, one of my favourite all-time players to play in the Premier League, and knowing that each time you see him could be the last, it's sad in a sense that, we're no longer going to see those moments of magic from an outstanding player, but it does make you appreciate what they've done. It does make you look back at some of their special moments, what they've achieved, what they've been a part of, why they've made the Premier League so special. And yeah, I hope that those players get the appreciation, it's Kevin De Bruyne at the moment, that they deserve from away supporters, not just the City fans who are going to enjoy him, but away supporters. I doubt he'll get that kind of
I was going to say, I wonder where you're going.
I've got to be honest, I doubt he'll get that here, but he'll be, to take part in these big fixtures, these local rivalries. You want to make sure that every time you're out there, this is from Kevin De Bruyne, that he puts on a show, and I'm hoping we're all going to be able to see him do that.
Yeah, I'm just watching another one down there on the side of the pitch at the moment, who's one of the best midfielders that has graced this game over the course of recent decades. Brian Robson's down there, totally different player to Kevin De Bruyne, but certainly deserves to be in the conversation when people are talking about the best midfielders that have graced the English top flight. But yeah, for Kevin De Bruyne, I thought Shea Given earlier in the programme was spot on when he called him the ace in the pack, didn't he? Or the diamond in the pack, I think he called it.
Right, we've got much more build-up to come. Clearly, we'll talk more about Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester United as well. Beautiful day here inside Old Trafford, but we've got 3 full commentaries that you can listen to right now. Spurs Southampton, Spurs leading 2-0, 5 Sports Extra, BBC Sport website, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, here on 5 Live. Quite a story brewing. Fulham 3, Liverpool 1. Clinton Morrison's with Mark Scott.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yep, perfect timing, just about good to go. Liverpool set to get us underway in this second half. As you say, trailing by 3-1. No changes from either manager during the interval, so I'll run you through the team shortly as Van Dijk heaves the long ball upfield. Szoboszlai's underneath it in centre field for Liverpool, and now Jones wins it back high up the pitch for Liverpool, but Bassey's got it, and Fulham work it back to their left-back area. And Robinson, Bassey up the line into Rodrigo Muniz, who scored an absolute belter to make it 3-1. Make sure you check out Match of the Day 2 tonight. BBC One at 10:30 to see that goal and all of the others from today's Premier League action.
He needs to be better though, Salah, in the second half. He's not working nowhere near as hard as he was doing previously, and I've seen it. Not saying I've seen him down tools, but he has to look like, come on, I know you think it might be over. Not at Liverpool, I'm not talking about him at Liverpool, I mean the Premier League, but he needs to work harder for his team, and that is the world-class players. When your team are having a downtime, you need your world-class players to step up.
Sasha Lukic has just picked up a yellow card for dragging back Gravenberch midway inside the Fulham half, so that's the first yellow of the game, and McAllister is over the free kick for Liverpool as the shadows just start to grow across the far side of the pitch to us underneath that imposing Riverside stand. McAllister lifts it in, but it's catching practice for Bernd Leno, so can run you through the teams now. Leno in goal for Fulham, Robinson, Bassey, Anderson and Castagna the back four, Lukic and Berger in midfield with Iwobi, Pereira and Sessegnon behind Muniz up top. Liverpool with Kelleher in goal, Robertson, who had a shocker for one of the Fulham goals, Van Dijk, Konate and Jones their back four, McAllister, who scored a belter to put Liverpool in front with Szoboszlai and Gravenberch the midfield three, Gakpo, Jota and a pretty quiet Mo Salah are their front three. Flicked on by Iwobi for Fulham midway inside Liverpool territory, but Liverpool have enough bodies back there to clear up towards halfway. Good turn by Sander Berger inside the centre circle to wriggle clear of a couple of Liverpool players, and now it's with Castagna, the Belgian right back, who plays it into the feet of Sessegnon, who took his goal very nicely indeed. 3 goals in his last 5 league games for Ryan Sessegnon as Leno launches it into the sunshine up towards halfway. Another nice touch from Muniz to get away from Van Dijk. He's laid it off this time for Sander Berger, who brings it over the halfway line into the feet of Sasha Lukic, and Lukic can play it short to Bassey, and Bassey under pressure can work a diag pass in towards the feet of Iwobi, who's challenged by Konate. It was a lunging tackle, but fair, and now Salah's picked up the ball after a mistake from Bassey. Mo Salah motoring, tries to flick it through for Jota, who can't take the chance. Bernd Leno with a sprawling save to deny Diogo Jota, who we've got used to being so deadly from that kind of situation, but the German spread himself well to keep it at 3-1.
Yeah, that's better from Salah. Bassey makes a mistake and Salah plays a clever little ball through to Jota, and he should be scoring. Jota, I said earlier in the programme, he's the best finisher at Liverpool, but credit to Bernd Leno, he stands up ever so well, but he just couldn't get the ball out of his feet. He's unlucky, to be fair. It's a good save from Leno.
He hasn't got a great record against Liverpool, Bernd Leno. He's not won against them, conceded 28 goals in his 12 games against them, but kept that one out and now gets a fist to this corner, which clears it as far as Mo Salah down by the corner flag on the right side as Liverpool look at things. He will let the ball dribble out for a throw to Arne Slot's men, and Salah thinks about taking it himself, would instead leave it for Curtis Jones. He's got a bit more distance on his throws. Is it going to be a long one, or is it the double bluff for Liverpool with 4 minutes gone in the second half, and the league leaders still trailing here at the Cottage by 3-1. Taken short to Dominik Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai closed down by Sasha Lukic, and the ball has nearly gone out of play. Robinson back in the left-back area will send it forwards, and it's floated out for another Liverpool throw. Still early stages in the second half. Can you see any discernible difference from Liverpool?
No, I can see the tempo's a bit quicker, and I think that's what Arne Slot wanted with Liverpool. They're very slow, cumbersome when they were building up, but you can see this could be the pattern of the game. Liverpool dominating possession in the second half and Fulham playing on the counter-attack.
So that's Clinton Morrison with us on 5 Live here at the Cottage, with Fulham 3-1 up against Liverpool. Full commentary of the of the Manchester derby to come later with John Murray and Leon Osman from Old Trafford, as Leno collects the ball under pressure from Cody Gakpo and just waits for a Fulham player to give him an option, then spins it short at his feet. He's got Gakpo quickly onto him, so launches it up towards Muniz. He wins the flick ahead of Van Dijk again. And Virgil van Dijk not having the most comfortable of afternoons against Rodrigo Muniz.
No, he's a centre-forward who likes to play up against centre-halves, and he's causing both centre-halves a lot of problems at the moment. But that's what he's in the side to do, and as I say, you've got to test these top players.
Busy weekend of sport on 5 Live, and next week just as packed. The Monday Night Club will dissect all of the action from the weekend, and we'll have a Masters preview as well. Some of the team already out in Augusta, Champions League and Europa League commentary to come, as well as commentary on all 4 rounds of the Masters from the Augusta National as well. Van Dijk by the centre circle has this time won the header ahead of Muniz for Liverpool, who trail 3-1. Out towards Mo Salah on the right wing. He's got Robinson for company. Gets inside of him and gets a good-looking ball in. Anderson stretching, got his head to it, only as far as Szoboszlai by the byline. Back it goes to Mo Salah. Robinson tight to him. Mo Salah cuts in field, sizes up his options. Low flat ball in, looking for Diogo Jota. Anderson flung himself and got a diving header to it to prevent it reaching him. But Liverpool maybe just building up a bit of a head of steam. Robinson this time doesn't allow Salah to get past him, and it goes out for a Liverpool throw. Clinton Morrison.
I see more from Salah in the first 5 minutes than I did see the whole 45 minutes. He looks like now he probably thinks to himself, I need to start playing now. I didn't play, I didn't touch the ball, I didn't move, I didn't cause Robinson any problems, and he's had about 6 or 7 touches, 2 good balls into the box. Fulham have defended it ever so well.
Ravine Kelleher just outside his area, decked out all in yellow, almost camouflaged with the grass here in the sunshine here at the Cottage. Long ball from him, which comes to nothing. Muniz goes down under pressure from Konate, but there was nothing wrong with the challenge in the eyes of Chris Kavanagh, so Szoboszlai has it for Liverpool. Back on halfway as Muniz stays down. Fulham want the ball put out of play. Liverpool continuing for now.
No chance am I kicking that ball out of play. Absolutely zero chance.
Gakpo having a dart at Castagna, coming inside of him and getting a useful looking ball in, which Bassi is underneath, and it will go out of play for a corner kick to Liverpool. And Fulham fume about the fact that the ball wasn't put out of play, but as Clinton said, they're under no obligation to do so.
No chance. I don't care. If it's not a serious head injury, you don't need to be kicking a ball out of play. No way. He's been in a battle. He's been roughing up the centre halves, and that's what you have to expect. So, I'm not kicking the ball out of play. No chance.
Well, there certainly didn't seem to be anything major in it. Muniz going to ground and making the most of it. Just seeing a replay of it now, actually, and Konate just out-muscles him. There's no contact with any part of the body, so he was milking it really. And Marco Silva, who's had run-ins with officials this season, has given Chris Kavanagh a mouthful about the fact play wasn't stopped, and now the referee is explaining to him exactly why he didn't stop it, and the ref was within his rights to let play go on.
I'm not even explaining to Marco Silva if I'm the referee. He's got it right. I know what managers are like on the touchline. They can be frustrated, but it is a hard job for the referees, and I'm very critical of the referee, but I think Kavanagh gets that right. It's not a foul.
You're best mates with Mike Dean these days, aren't you?
Yeah, just about. I put up with him. He's a good guy, Mike. Yeah, we get on really well.
So delay here while Muniz receives some attention. We can just see that Harvey Elliott's receiving some instructions at the moment, and Luis Diaz is getting stripped as well. A bit confused as to why on 53 minutes you'd make these changes if they are about to come, rather than just do it at half-time.
Because you probably give another 10 minutes just to see how the second half starts and see if anything gets better, which they have. It has slightly got better, but then you don't want to leave it too long.
I get leaving it till like the hour where you give them 15 minutes, but it's only been 8 minutes. Is that long enough?
No, yeah, but he's been down for 2 minutes, so it might, by the time they get on, it still might be 60 minutes. But I know what you're saying. I definitely know what you're saying. But sometimes I think, as a manager, you just think, let me make this change before, give it another 5 minutes. But you're right.
So Liverpool's changes, I don't know if they'll be imminent, because they've got a corner that they're about to take. Muniz has survived, thankfully, so he's on his feet and ready to come back on as McAllister gets ready to deliver the outswinger from the right. Up goes Kanate, Anderson there as well. So Bosley with the first time hit. Leno was rooted and had to watch and hope that it would go wide, which it did.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. Like, they get the first contact, Fulham, where Kanate looks like he's going to get a free header. And he never looked comfortable in taking that strike to Bosley, who's got great technique, by the way.
Well, 7 this season for the Hungarian. He's already equalled his total from last term, but didn't catch that one properly. And with 10 minutes gone in the second half, Fulham still retain their 3-1 lead. And those changes do look to be coming any minute now. Elliott and Diaz, the two players that are ready, as Arne Slot just says to his players, come on, speed it up again, get things moving, increase the tempo.
Yeah, I think he wanted the referee to speed up Leno, but now he's making his change, which I think Gakpo's coming off, and it might be Szoboszlai as well, who have been really ineffective. I thought it maybe would have been Gravenberch, who's not really had his best game. You don't need a holding midfielder when you're 3-1 down.
So it is Luis Diaz and Harvey Elliott to come on, and Cody Gakpo going off, and Dominic Szoboszlai also, and Harvey Elliott getting the pantomime booze, the ex-Fulham man, of course, as Leno goes long upfield. It might break for Pereira, and Robertson has to come across to tidy up and just heave it up towards halfway. We'll be at Spurs in a minute, but Liverpool coming forwards with Salah attacking down the right-hand side. Now it's bomb forwards up towards Rodrigo Muniz on the left side of it for Fulham. Muniz outmanoeuvred by Kanate, who's found Gravenberch into the feed of the newly arrived Elliott, who rolls it backwards of square. Anderson in the right place for Fulham. Sander Berger in centre field has Alexis McAllister making life difficult for him, and advantage played after McAllister tried to drag back Sander Berger. Now it's Sessegnon, right flank for Fulham. He's got two Liverpool players in front of him. Sessegnon doing well, going for goal, dragging it wide. It'll be a goal kick. Good stuff though from Sessegnon.
Yeah, really positive play. You know he wants to come onto his left foot, so they tried to show him into the middle, but he still gets his shot away ever so well.
Well, that gives us a chance to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Henry Moran.
Spurs 2, Southampton 0. Southampton on their way down this afternoon. If it stays like this, they've been quite bright since the break. Joe Aribo creating some space with some quick feet, but his shot charged down. Spurs 2, Southampton 0.
Action-packed game here, but across West London, not quite the same, Aaron Paul.
And Enzo Maresca has seen enough. Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto preparing to come on. Nicholas Jackson was a half-time substitute. He hasn't done much. Chelsea have looked sluggish, as have Brentford as well, but it remains Brentford 0, Chelsea 0.
The Champions Cup was due to get underway between Toulouse and Sale at 3 o'clock, but there's been a delay, Adam Whitty.
Yes, and perhaps for the most bizarre reason of the season, 2 parachutists were set to fly into the stadium before the game as part of the pre-match pomp. Only one of them landed. The second has his parachute snagged in the roof. He's dangling down unhurt from the roof of the stadium. The Toulouse mascot has been running over with post protectors to cushion a potential landing in the stands. For the time being, perhaps for a long time, we have no rugby between Sale and Toulouse in the Champions Cup last 16.
Thanks, Adam. I shouldn't laugh, but can't help but chuckle, especially Clinton Morrison's reaction when that was all being relayed to us by Adam.
No, as long as he's okay, it does sound a bit funny, but as long as he's okay, that's the most thing.
Good turn by Robertson, and a hit just over the top of the Fulham crossbar from the Scotland international, who is looking to make amends after his error led to one of the Fulham first half goals, but he flashed that just a touch too high.
It's a good turn, but he's not going to beat Leno from there. He really should be feeding that to the back post, where he's got 2 runners in, Jota and Salah coming in at the back post. But it's better from Liverpool in the second half. It is better.
Better from Liverpool, but Fulham still feel comfortable.
Yeah, they feel comfortable because they're not working Leno. I think Jota chances work Leno, but they know Liverpool can turn it on. And once they get one, they can get another one very quickly.
So Liverpool trailing 3-1. Fulham in possession with Iwobi, one of the Fulham goal scorers, along with Muniz and Sessegnon. Good ball by Berger. Sessegnon chasing. Kelleher retreating. He's gone wide to the byline. Needs some support. Back in for Pereira, who couldn't get a clean shot away. Good challenge in there by Gravenberch to block his route to goal. And Fulham have turned it over again in centre field, and the fans like that. They're on their feet just in front of us as Robinson tries to speed beyond Konate. Can't get the beating though of the French defender, and they're still wrestling there just outside the Liverpool penalty area. It goes back towards Curtis Jones, and he knocks it infield to Gravenberch. Gravenberch has to be careful because a couple of Fulham players are onto him just outside his own area, so he goes back to his keeper Kelleher, and Liverpool will begin again.
Yeah, Liverpool, they look frustrated, a lot of throwing of the arms in the air of like there's not enough movement in front, and that's where they struggled. Not move the ball quick enough and give the ball away needlessly at times. There's not been enough movement there. Diaz is trying to take it all by himself. He should just be playing that to Salah. He was in there.
Liverpool unbeaten in their last 26 Premier League games. 19 wins, 7 draws. Their second longest unbeaten league run. Their fourth longest unbeaten league run overall. But at the moment, they're heading for defeat with almost an hour played at Craven Cottage as Sessegnon leaps into a challenge on Robertson. Liverpool wanted a foul, instead it's a throw. And again, the Fulham fans really enjoying the full-blooded nature of the way that their team are playing at the moment. All the goals coming in the first half. McAllister actually giving Liverpool the lead before a roaring comeback from Fulham. Sessegnon, Iwobi and Muniz with the goals. You can see all the goals tonight from the Premier League on Match of Day 2, 10:30 on BBC One. And one of those games is the Manchester derby at Old Trafford, and we can get the team news from John Murray.
2 changes for Manchester United. Maguire and Højlund are back in the team. Xerxes is on the bench. De Ligt not involved. He picked up a knock the other night. There's no return yet for Kobbie Mainoo, but Luke Shaw is named among the substitutes. Wasn't necessarily expecting that. And for Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne plays and is captain, of course. Bernardo Silva, Foden and Kovacic all come in. So Doku, Gonzalez, Savinho and Grealish are all on the substitutes bench for this one.
Thank you very much, John. John and Leon Osman will bring you full commentary of the Manchester derby from Old Trafford. That's a 4:30 kickoff. Liverpool with half an hour of the 90 left to play, trying to get themselves back into this game and avoid a rare Premier League defeat. But Fulham are scrapping and keeping them at arm's length as Elliott has it on halfway. And again, the boos come the way of the former Fulham man from the home supporters, who are really enjoying their Sunday afternoon in very pleasant conditions here at Craven Cottage. The sun's still beaming down as the Liverpool fans find their voice to try and G their side up. Alexis McAllister with his back to goal has Bassi for company, and he's managed to offload it, but Bassi and Iwobi between them have got it back, and Robinson with a long ball forwards aiming for Rodrigo Muniz, and the touch from Ibrahima Konate has gifted the ball to Muniz and given Fulham a free kick. So let's pay our first visit to the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and Matt Newsom is watching Warrington against St Helens.
Yes, St Helens have squared things up in this Challenge Cup quarter-final. 6 points apiece now. Tristan Saylor just about stretching onto a Jack Wellsby grubber in that in-goal area. The video ref checked it out. All good, all square. Warrington 6, St Helens 6.
Cheers, Matt. That's also live for you on BBC 2 at the moment as well. You can hear full commentary of Tottenham against Southampton. Southampton heading down on Sports Extra right now, still goalless at the G-Tech between Brentford and Chelsea. So Andreas Pereira over this free kick for Fulham, who have probably been pretty happy with the way that the first quarter of an hour of the second half has panned out so far. Liverpool have huffed and puffed without causing too many problems, and their 3-1 lead remains intact. Pereira's free kick is disappointing, easily cleared by Jones inside the Liverpool box, but he's given it straight back to Robinson, who swirls it out to the left. Pereira with the instant control, then a Rabona pass down the line for Iwobi. Nice idea, but the flag was up for offside anyway. Bit too early for the party tricks to be coming out, Clinton.
Yeah, far too early, but you know what, it nearly came off, and he was offside anyway, and the ball went out of play. But that's the confidence that they're showing at the moment on Fulham.
Something about Andreas Pereira that made me laugh was Marco Silva left him out the team earlier this season after he did an interview about perhaps wanting to move on and look for a bigger club. He claimed afterwards that it was lost in translation. Well, Marco Silva speaks Portuguese, so good luck with trying to pull that one off as Diaz rolls it back here for McAllister by the edge of the area, and Sasha Lukic has won it back for Fulham and clears it to just shy of halfway, and Marco Silva, who patrols the touchline, stroking his chin at the moment, and his all-black ensemble with the white trainers, and always full of instructions and full of words of encouragement for his players, but doesn't need to really G them up too much. Good performance from them, but they have defending to do as Salah collects on the right wing. His pass, though, has got a touch as he tried to play it into the run of Alexis McAllister, and it's gone out for a Liverpool corner. But as I was saying earlier on, these two sides not exactly big threats from set pieces. They both scored 4 goals each from dead balls in the Premier League this season, so they're not exactly deadly from dead balls.
I'm surprised at that, because Van Dijk and Konate are a threat, especially in particular Van Dijk. He's one of the best headers of the balls in the Premier League, so I'm surprised by that.
Here comes the corner from McAllister towards the penalty spot. The heads go up in there, but no red shirt can get a clean touch, and Pereira should be able to run this clear for Fulham. Coming forwards on the right, he's gone for a flash pass and given it away to Jones. Could be a costly error. Curtis Jones inside the area, lays it off for Robertson. Low flat ball in, cleared by Anderson. Well, I tell you what, if that had led to a Liverpool goal, Andreas Pereira would have to sneak out of Craven Cottage tonight. Awful error as Luis Diaz rolls into the far post, and Salah puts it over the bar from 6 yards out. Well, maybe it's not going to be Liverpool's day when Mo Salah passes up a chance like that. Beautiful ball in from Diaz, and Salah hangs his head in despair that he wasn't able to convert from close range.
Yeah, he nearly didn't get away with that, Pereira, because I don't know what he's doing, but that's a great ball. He has to. Mohamed Salah, we're calling him world class. He should be hitting the target from there. It's difficult. It's a great ball from Diaz because it is on the half volley, but he has to control that, and it is on his weaker right foot. But big opportunity.
Well, Mo Salah, if he scores today, would become the outright 5th top scorer in Premier League history. Would move him on to 185 goals, but unable to take that opportunity. And Liverpool remain 3-1 behind at the moment as Anderson inside the D of the Fulham box plays it to Castagna. Bit of an awkward situation for him with Diaz on his shoulder, and he's given it away. Gravenberch for Liverpool to Van Dijk, closed down by Sessegnon, and good squeeze from Fulham. They force Liverpool all the way back to Kelleher.
Yeah, they do, they are, and I can see on the far side it's probably Liverpool's last roll of the dice. I can see Bradley and Nunes coming on, and you probably think you need Bradley there. He's more natural of a right back, likes to get forward combined with Salah down that right hand side.
Only recently coming back from injury, isn't he, Conor Bradley? 7 games out, I think it was, with that thigh injury. So if he had been match fit, I'm sure he would have started, because as Clinton was saying, a natural right back rather than Jones having to try and play a makeshift role there, as it's hammered forwards by Van Dijk, aiming for Salah. A bit of a hopeful pass though, and Robinson underneath it easily enough. Fulham have coughed it up though, and it's whipped across towards Diaz by the edge of the box. Plenty of white shirts back there, but it's rolled back to Alexis McAllister. Now Harvey Elliott, he bends it forwards, clever pass. Robertson can't get there though, and it dribbles behind for a Fulham goal kick. Here comes that change then, and it is going to be Diogo Jota who goes off here, with Darwin Nunez coming on. Saw him at Brentford come on late doors and score a couple of very important goals for Liverpool in a game that was petering out to a 0-0 draw. What can the Uruguayan do here to try and ignite a Liverpool comeback? And
Konate is one of the other one.
Yeah, Ibrahima Konate coming off, and Conor Bradley will step in for him. Bit of a surprise there?
Nah, I can understand why he's done that, because Gravenberch will go to centre half. I've seen him do this before at Nottingham Forest when they were losing the game and Jota came on. So Gravenberch will go centre back, Bradley will go right back, and Curtis Jones will go into his midfield role, which I kind of get, because Curtis Jones more attacking than Ryan Gravenberch, and I've seen him do this many a times.
There you go, that's what we pay you for, Clinton, that kind of expertise. As Fulham...
I don't get paid, I do this for free for the love of the BBC.
It's not what I've heard. Here comes Robinson, really good run from him. He's played it forward to Sasha Lukic, who's wide on the left. Bradley immediately into the thick of it, trying to nick it off him, unable to do so. So Iwobi has it, and into the feet of Robinson. All this on the left-hand side for Fulham, who are 3-1 up midway through the second half. Big result incoming from the Cottage if they can see this out. It wouldn't exactly reignite the title race, but it would mean that actually Arsenal have made a point up on Liverpool by the end of the weekend, when everyone was looking at that Everton result on Saturday as the final nail in the coffin of their title hopes. Here is Bassi chasing back as the ball was threaded through for Salah to chase, but he always had the advantage on the Egyptian and safely shuffles it home to Leno. Up towards Muniz, who's really enjoying his battle with Virgil van Dijk today, and I've enjoyed watching it as well. A real rough and tumble between those two, which you say Muniz has had the better of, especially with that wonderful touch when he got clear of the Dutchman to score the 3rd goal for Fulham. And Some hesitant defending has allowed Fulham to get themselves a corner kick as well, and they are obviously in no hurry to take this, Clinton.
No, the pass from Nunes is terrible. He's got to be better on the ball. I like Darwin Nunes running in behind, but he's got to play a better ball to Salah. He didn't even need to play the difficult. Just give it to Diaz. He's one-on-one.
So Andreas Pereira with this corner for Fulham with a touch over 20 minutes left to play. And Marco Silva's men maintaining a 3-1 lead. Pereira to bend this in, raises his arm to get the message across to the white shirts in there where it's going. It's right underneath the crossbar, too close to Kelleher, in fact, who's able to gather pretty simply. Now wants to try and get the ball out quickly, so rolls it into the feet of Bradley in that right back position. Casual pass from him though, slaps into the backside of Pereira. Bradley across there to pick up the loose ball into the feet of Gravenberch, and now it's Van Dijk. Liverpool have worked it from right to left, and Curtis Jones brings it to just shy of halfway, but Fulham packing that midfield now. No easy obvious ball through. He's found McAllister Jones though, and now gets it back from the Argentinian. It goes into Robertson, and now Curtis Jones. All this in centre field though. They're looking to try and find a bit of space. They have done with Gravenberch on the right side of midfield now. Backwards of square though to Alexis McAllister. There's some room here for Robertson on the left. He goes forwards to Luis Diaz, who might have a run at Castagna here. Belgian holding him up for now. Luis Diaz coming in field. He's darted towards the D of the penalty area, and Elliott asking for a handball just outside the box. Chris Kavanagh not interested. Now the counter might be on. Robinson with the pace to get away on the left-hand side. McAllister desperately trying to get back. Muniz in the centre. Robinson's low ball. Muniz back to goal. Can't get the shot away because Van Dijk just nudged him out of harm's way. But that was a really good, speedy counter led by Robinson.
It was. You know what I was watching? I was watching Muniz's movement. Let me tell you, Van Dijk's defender is fantastic. He's saying, I'm not going over there because McAllister's there. I can see he just tracked his run in his movement, and in the end defended brilliantly. That's why he's one of the best defenders around. But brilliant break from Robinson.
Although Muniz did get the jump on him in the first half. Make sure you catch that on Match of the Day 2 tonight, along with all the rest of the Premier League action. Mark Chapman will be guiding you through it with Shay Given and Troy Deeney from 10:30. Here is Muniz jostling with Van Dijk again. He gets it back to Kelleher, who takes a touch. He got away with one in the first half and he lost the ball with his feet inside his own penalty area. Gravenberch is just at the edge of the box with Liverpool 3-1 down, and we're into the final 20 minutes of the 90. Is their long unbeaten Premier League run coming to an end? 26 games without defeat in the top division as Jones comes forwards for Arne Slot's side, but he's shackled by Sander Berge. He does find the pass into the feet of Andy Robertson, who weaves his way, we thought, beyond Castagna, but Castagna's got back at him and has found Sessegnon down by the byline. He's under pressure from Curtis Jones, desperate not to concede a corner kick. He's kicked out by Robertson, but Fulham seem to have got their way out of trouble. The ball forward though, cut out by Van Dijk, who's come really far forwards here. He's lost out though, and now it's Andreas Pereira with a couple of jinks and step overs against McAllister. Those two have had a few words in each other's ear, and Pereira happy to come out on top, so it's given Fulham a throw deep inside their own turf, and Sessegnon asks for more from the Fulham fans. Let's get some more from Aaron Paul at the G-Tech.
71 played here, and Chelsea have come alive after those changes. Pedro Neto with a fabulous shot from the edge of the D, swung a boot at it, and it was a really, really big save from for Mark Flecken as Brentford go close through Johan Wiese. Shot played across the
Luis
face of goal.
Diaz here though has got one back for Liverpool into the penalty area by Bradley. Diaz collected it, swivelled and steered it beyond Bernd Leno. Really clinical finish from Luis Diaz, and Liverpool are back in the mix. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, and it's good play from it was good play from who was it? Jones on this left-hand side. Played a great ball, and Bradley, who I said is more influential going forward as a right back, he does ever so well, plays a good little ball to Diaz, and it just toe pokes it. It's game on now with 19 minutes to go plus added on time. You think like now Fulham have to hold on, you look to your bench, but brilliant goal from Liverpool.
Really super stuff between the two substitutes. Conor Bradley coming forwards and into the feet of Luis Diaz, who swivelled and popped it beyond the grass of Bernd Leno. Little hope for the Fulham keeper with that one, and suddenly there's a little bit more anxiety amongst the Fulham supporters as Luis Diaz collects. The Colombian under pressure from Sessegnon, goes back to Robertson, who shuffles it back to Kelleher. So 3-2 to Fulham, 2-2 at Anfield. Is there another high-scoring draw to come here at the Cottage this afternoon? Fulham had stood firm, they hadn't had too many scares. Salah flashed that one over, in the second half, but generally they kept Liverpool at arm's length. But that's what teams at the top, league leaders, champions-elect, managed to do. They find a way back into the game even when they've not been at their best, but they are still behind. 3-2 it is to Fulham. Luis Diaz, who scored that goal, darts towards the D of the penalty area. Curtis Jones perhaps with a shooting chance by the edge of the box, and the first time hit from Harvey Elliott over the top of the bar, and the home fans have enjoyed that one. He's been getting plenty of grief since coming on from the Fulham supporters, the ex-Cottager. That one goes a long way over the top though, and Fulham now are in game management mode to give it a respectable title as they take their time over the restart.
Yeah, and the referee will add it on. Arne Slot's going mad on the touchline saying, referee Kavanagh, look at it quicker. So, yeah, it's Liverpool that are in the ascendancy now. I knew the goals weren't going to be over. Liverpool played much better in the second half.
Well, Bradley buccaneering forwards into the feet of Diaz, and what a sharp strike it was from Luis Diaz to make it 3-2. And there's activity on the Fulham bench. I think Emile Smith-Rowe is about to be brought on, one of those that started against Arsenal, of course his former club, but was dropped to the bench this afternoon. What a grandstand finish we have in the sunshine at the Cottage. 14 minutes of the 90 to play. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2. Robust challenge on Diaz in centre field. The Colombian then tries to win it back, and there's one a free kick after Castagna got back at him illegally. Taken quickly to Darwin Nunez. Nunez on the left flank. Robertson across there as well. Luis Diaz also on this left-hand side. Short, sharp passes between them. Now a crossfield switch to find Mo Salah. His early ball in towards Nunez, and a free header for Jones inside the area, and it's straight at Bernd Leno.
Wrong player, to be fair. You want header in, and that's not being disrespectful to Jones. This is probably a Nunez. It's still a difficult header, but it's a good ball in from Salah. But they've got their tails up at the moment. It's a comfortable save from Leno, and you don't need that where Leno throws it out playing, Castagna's not, and they're rattled at the moment, and that's why they'll be making a triple substitution.
Yeah, here come the Fulham changes then. Marco Silva trying to alter the flow of this game, because at the moment it is all going Liverpool's way. While we have the substitutions being made, let's find out the latest from Spurs. Henry Moran.
Spurs 2, Southampton 0. Southampton relegated today unless they can turn this round. It's been a very quiet second half, really not that much to report. Dominic Solanke has just forced a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, who inevitably has been the busier of the two keepers. 2 Brennan Johnson goals. It's Spurs 2, Southampton 0.
Thanks, Henry. And the changes here: Smith-Rowe on for Pereira. Harrison Reed will take the place of Sasha Lukic, and it is going to be Raul Jimenez for Rodrigo Muniz, who might just be running out of gas after that long battle with Van Dijk today, but he has done very well.
You're right, Mark, but he's led the line out outstanding. He's caused both centre-halves, him and Konate, when he was on the pitch, all kinds of problems. Proper centre-forward performance today.
So these 3 Fulham changes taking place at the moment, and Muniz does get a very big hand from the home supporters after his exploits today. Is his goal going to be the winning goal? The 3rd goal that Fulham scored after they fell behind. They were 3-1 up, but that Diaz strike has made it 3-2 with now 14 minutes of the 90 left to play. But as Clinton was saying, I think Chris Kavanagh's been keeping an eye on how long Fulham have taken between the restarts, and there'll be a chunky amount of stoppage time to be tacked on. What a start to our football today for you on 5 Live. We've still got the Manchester derby to come from Old Trafford with John Murray and Leon Osman, and well, plenty of talking points across the weekend, plenty of talking points just from this game. 6:06 with Robbie and Chris to come after the action too.
What is my centre forward doing out here? Go in the box, Nunez. I don't want you outside the box. Get in the box. He stood out here for ages when there's a throw-on, trying to take throw-ons.
Well, we're close enough that he might actually be able to hear you, I guess, Clinton, as Luis Diaz goes over in the area. It's a dramatic tumble to the turf. The Fulham fans here are incensed with him. Chris Kavanagh waved it away immediately. Liverpool lobbying for the video assistant referee to take a closer look at it. We're getting a closer look now. Well, it's a flop to the floor. I don't think there's anything in that. Clinton Morrison?
No, it's not a foul. It's Luis Diaz. He doesn't get caught. He flicks the ball over Anderson, and when his foot's coming down, it hits Anderson. It's not a penalty. There is collision, but it's Luis Diaz that initiates the collision. So VAR won't even look at that. There's no choice.
I saw Eddie Nketiah collect a yellow card for simulation yesterday when there was contact, but he went over and made the most of it. Luis Diaz perhaps in the same category there?
No, I think Eddie's was a bit worse, and I like Eddie, but I think his was maybe a bit worse. He was proper looking for it. I do think there was a bit of contact there, but Diaz enforced the contact. I still don't think he should have been sent off though, but that's my Palace head on.
Well, here at the Cottage, we are heading towards the final 10 minutes with Fulham still leading. It is 3-2 though. Liverpool reducing the deficit with Luis Diaz's goal. And can they strike late on against Fulham to get a point again? There were only 4 minutes remaining at Anfield when Diogo Jota popped up in the 2-2 draw in December. Liverpool 3-1 winners here a year ago. And Gravenberch and Jota were amongst the scorers that day. It's Darwin Núñez for Liverpool, who's come towards the halfway line. I don't think Clinton wants to see him there either. Wants to see him further through the middle.
Forward there on the left. Play up front.
Bradley, who teed up Diaz for the goal that has given Liverpool hope, can't find the Colombian with a clean ball this time. But Fulham noticeably, as teams always seem to do when they're protecting a lead, starting to sit mightily deep. And that's a clever pass down the left for Robertson to chase. He's got into the area. Robertson's low ball across. They're queuing up in there. It's collected by Elliott off the bar. Elliott crashes against the underside of the crossbar. Liverpool so close to a leveller. The flag goes up now. I don't think it would have meant that Elliott's goal wouldn't have stood. Elliott inches away from making it 3-3.
Yeah, it looks like it's only a matter of time. It looks like, you're right, it gets so difficult for teams when you've got to defend and keep defending, but Liverpool have just grown in this second. A good play from Robertson, and you fancy Elliott with his left foot, because he has got a wonder of a left foot. He's really unlucky, tries to bend it to that far corner, goes to the crossbar, and then Robertson's in an offside position.
Well, Fulham got lucky there, and this is much more like it from Liverpool. The substitutions seem to have done the job for them. They just seem passive and not really at the races in the first half. Deservedly 3-1 down at the interval, and even at the start of the second half they weren't really motoring, but this is much more like it.
Yeah, the substitutions have come on and had an impact.
And Salah now seems to have found his mojo as well, as he has a run at Calvin Bassey down that right wing. Bassey though has recovered well and got the ball clear towards halfway. We're into the last 10 minutes of the 90 on 5 Live with Liverpool trailing 3-2, but Darwin Núñez chasing a ball through the middle. I think he might have been offside. Flag didn't go up, but Bernd Leno anticipated and smothered at Núñez's feet. 10 minutes to go here. It'll be the closing stages as well at the G-Tech, Aaron Paul.
Chances in a row for Brentford, all miss. First up on Burma, good save from Robert Sanchez, and then Vandenberg planting a header just over the bar. Free header as well it was, and now you've just seen Yohan Wissa plant another effort wide of the target. 0-0, 10 to go.
And similar here at the Cottage. 80 minutes played as Iwobi picks it up for Fulham. A rare foray into Liverpool territory for them. They've been sitting so deep in the last 15 or so minutes. It's a good ball in towards Raul Jimenez though from Iwobi. Smith Rowe chasing, can't pick up the pieces. Luis Diaz back there helping out his defence. He looks like a man on a mission since coming on.
Yeah, he's been good. He's like, why did you leave me out from the midweek game? And he always looks sharp, Luis Diaz. He always looks like he's playing at 100 miles an hour, but he has added a spark on that left-hand side.
Another couple of changes for Fulham here. And it'll be their final 2 of the game. Kenny Tete, first bit of action for him in 4 months after injury. He's on for Iwobi, and Adama Traore for Ryan Sessegnon, which will perhaps just give Liverpool something to think about defensively, because at the moment they're only focused on attack.
Yeah, definitely. You would see, you would think Adama Traore would cause a lot of problems. Robertson on that far side, and you can see it looks like maybe they might go to a 3 at the back. Maybe, because Kenny Tete is here and they've still got Cassagna on the pitch.
Well, what we have, we hold, is the approach from Marco Silva now. Understandably, Fulham were rip-roaring in the first half. They've been a bit more cautious since the break, but they still have the lead, 3-2 against Liverpool at the moment.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are bringing on Chiesa, I think, as well.
Well, all hands to the pump. Chiesa is indeed being readied, and it's Robertson who's going to go off. And Robertson immediately goes off down by the byline, so it means Chiesa can immediately get a taste of the action.
Yeah, that is attacking. Now, that is basically, we're going to defend with 3 at the back, Gravenberch, Van Dijk and Bradley, and say to the rest, go and get us an equaliser.
Can Liverpool get an equaliser? 8 minutes of the 90 to play at the Cottage. What a great game this has been. And Fulham well deserving of their lead. But Liverpool showing the fight that you expect from a side that could be champions in 2 weeks' time if they get their victories and other results go their way. They only need a maximum of 11 points to ensure that they are champions of England, as Elliott plays it through the centre, looking for Nunez, cut out by Joachim Andersen. He doesn't get much distance on the clearance though. Nunez sends it wide to Chiesa, who's just come on. Back to fellow substitute as McAllister lifted into the penalty area. Not enough height on it though. Castagna wins the header, walloped up to Jimenez. Van Dijk's underneath it, gets the header perfectly to Conor Bradley, and Liverpool have got possession once again. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, because they know Liverpool can go one-on-one, because Van Dijk can deal with one-on-one, but I want to see it when it's Traore against Van Dijk. That's what everyone's here for. Let's see if that happens.
Here's McAllister. He's lost out to Bassi, who's bursting forwards from the back. Calvin Bassi brings it over halfway. Good stuff from Calvin Bassi, and he's still going, and then he's clattered by Curtis Jones, and that gets a massive cheer from the home supporters. Bassi, brilliant.
He's been all over Salah. Salah can't handle it. He's been too strong for Salah, got in front of Salah, and he's been non-existent, to be fair to Salah, and he's had a few flashes in the second half, but nowhere near comes up to him. Good strength from Calvin Bassi. He's been outstanding.
Delayed starts in the Champions Cup, but underway now. Adam Whitty.
Yes, the most important thing, the parachutist all safe, by the way, brought down by a cherry picker. 40-minute delay. It took Toulouse less than 2 minutes to score. Jack Willis going in from close range. It's 3 minutes gone now. Toulouse 7, Sale 0 in the Champions Cup last 16.
Well, that's good to hear, and Clinton's relieved that the parachutist is okay.
100%, big thumb up from me. I knew he was okay before when we got the update, but to hear it again is good news.
Just got images of you doing a parachute jump in my head now. Any chance?
Too scared of that, don't like heights.
Speaking of heights, long high ball in to the Liverpool penalty area, but too high for anyone in a Fulham shirt, so it's bounced through to Kelleher in the Liverpool goal, and we're edging towards the last 5 minutes of the 90, but there will be a decent amount of stoppage time tacked on due to the amount of stoppages that we've had, and I think Fulham have been testing the patience of Chris Kavanagh, the referee, as well, with their delays during the restarts. But Virgil van Dijk in a defensive area for Liverpool, looking for an equaliser here at Craven Cottage. They took the lead, but then went 3-1 down, got it back to 3-2, courtesy of Luis Diaz, who's in possession at the moment, the Colombian, who plays it infield to Alexis McAllister, and now Bradley surging through the centre, but his pass doesn't have enough legs on it, so it's cut out by Joachim Andersen. He gets it up towards halfway. Elliott picks it up, so close to making it 3 each. Harvey Elliott bent one against the crossbar a short time ago, but it is 3-2 with 5 minutes of normal time left to play. Jones has to stretch to try and get to the ball ahead of Castagna on the left wing for Liverpool. Traore and Castagna block him off, so he has to retreat to Gravenberch. Now on halfway for Liverpool, and Van Dijk's given it away. And Smith Rowe was nearly away, but he's now tagged back Conor Bradley. He's going to pick up a yellow card for the shirt pull. Liverpool in a hurry to get underway, but first of all, Kavanagh, referee, has to get out the yellow card to Smith Rowe, which he has done. Chiesa now plays it forwards to Salah on that right wing. Robinson blocked him off, so Liverpool again have to go backwards of square. Bradley, everyone in the Fulham half at the moment, as Van Dijk works it from the right to the left. It's Gravenberch advancing down that left-hand side to the feet of Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz coming in field and finding Alexis McAllister. Bit better shape about Fulham at the moment, not just sitting deep but closing off the half spaces. Not as easy for Liverpool to find gaps.
Yeah, it's a good shape. They have a really good shape, and when Salah or Diaz gets the ball, they press him, and look, Salah has to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Robinson and Bassi have been all over Salah this afternoon. Their game plan has worked for them against him,
and it's nearly got them the 3 points. 4 minutes of the 90 left to play. Elliott for Liverpool, who are 3-2 down, and their long unbeaten run in the Premier League is set to come to an end. 26 Premier League games unbeaten coming into this one. They're the only team ahead of today in the top 4 divisions not to lose an away league game, but it's going to take a late saving act to avoid that statistic being finished this afternoon, as Jones has it in the centre circle. Really lazy pass from him that's cut out by Raul Jimenez. Jones rescues the situation and gets it back to Kelleher in the Liverpool goal. He rolls it to Virgil van Dijk, who sprays it long looking for Luis Diaz. Kenny Tete is back there to help out his defence, but then nearly overran it and got himself into trouble. Instead he's got himself a free kick by getting his body between Chiesa and the ball. The Italian shrugs his shoulders, but Chris Kavanagh says, yeah, that's a trip, and Fulham again will just run down the clock.
Yeah, good defending from Kenny Tete. They've missed him because even though Castagna's come in and done well, Tete's a very good defender and very rapid as well.
Anderson has just kicked the ball away from where it's meant to be taken, so he knows that he'll be told he's got to take it from the other position. And Darwin Núñez not too happy with that. Eventually Joachim Andersen does wallop it upfield, where it's picked up by Castagna, who's got Traore up there. It's Raul Jimenez instead, edge of the area, low hit from Reed. Nearly a goal for Fulham that would have wrapped it up. Kelleher down to make the save. Good block by the Liverpool keeper. First save he's had to make since half-time, and it keeps Liverpool in the equation. They come forwards now with Curtis Jones. Jones advancing, Luis Diaz up there with him on this left flank. Jones waits, and Fulham have got lots of players back there now to block the route towards Bernd Leno's goal. Luis Diaz being serenaded by the Fulham fans for his earlier acrobatics in the area when he was trying to win a penalty. It's McAllister's pass towards Núñez into the area. Chiesa chasing, Castagna's got to be careful. Jones was on him, and Castagna was careful and gets it out for a throw.
And that's where I feel Liverpool missed that cutting edge. Núñez's layoff nowhere near good enough. Short and sharp, one touch, two touch. He's got to be better when it comes into it.
90 seconds of the 90 minutes to play. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2. The league leaders heading for a rare defeat here at Craven Cottage as Bradley plays it up towards Salah on the right wing. Quiet game from Mo Salah, who missed a good chance earlier on, but he's played a good ball to Luis Diaz. His low ball in, blocked by Bassi. Excellent defending, and he gets up to prevent it going for a corner by winning the header and plays it off Bradley and out for a throw. That is magnificent from Calvin Bassi. I'm not sure who's going to get the man of the match award from the TV coverage, but he's got to be up there.
Oh, definitely. He's a force, he's strong, he's powerful, he can defend, he likes getting into a battle as well, and he's been outstanding. As I said, he's kept Mo Salah really quiet. If Salah's gone past Robinson, Bassi's been outstanding.
Marco Silva's having a word with the fourth official at the moment, Thomas Bramall, trying to get a steer on the stoppage time. He doesn't look happy. What do you think it's going to be, Clinton?
Probably about 5-6 minutes, I'd say, because you got the substitutions and a few players that have been down.
Traore's held the ball up really well and got it away from Gravenberch. Now Fulham have got numbers up here. Raul Jimenez picks it up, edge of the area. Smith Rowe up there as well. Jimenez took too long. Harrison Reed steps in, just prods it forward. It'll dribble out of play down in the right back area for Liverpool. In fact, Bradley's kept it in and played it up towards Elliott. Elliott's seen off though by a challenge, and it's gone out of play for a Liverpool throw. We're about to find out how much additional time we're going to have. Thomas Bramall has got his board ready to show off to everyone inside the cottage. Just waits for the time to tick down to 90 minutes, which we'll do in a couple of seconds as Bassi has to put it out of play under pressure in the left-back area. 6 additional minutes we will have at the end of the 90, which we are into now. And Clinton Morrison with a wry smile as if to say, I told you so. It's a free kick for Liverpool. About 10 yards outside the Fulham penalty area. Bassi just a bit too robust in the challenge, and they've taken it quickly. Bradley with a chance to get the cross in, blocked by Reed. Air kick by Sander Berge could be costly. Effort from Chiesa, saved by Bernd Leno. It bounced favourably for the Italian inside the area, took it flush on the half volley, and it was right at the German goalkeeper.
Yeah, they switched off Fulham, and Bradley took a quick free kick, and then he doesn't deal with it. Sander Berge does not deal with it, and it's a good opportunity for Chiesa, but comfortable save from Leno.
Well, Liverpool with a spirited response from 3-1 down. They've had the chances to get themselves back level, but with 5 minutes of stoppage time remaining, they are still trailing 3-2. Throw taken by Gravenberch all the way back to Kelleher in the Liverpool goal. Fulham just trying to stem the red tide that is coming at them, and I guess the question that will come on the Slots way afterwards will be, where was this earlier on in the game?
Yeah, if Liverpool loses, it's the first half showing. Second half they've been much better, but you can't start football matches the way they started.
Gravenberch in that defensive area now for Liverpool. Back to Virgil van Dijk, sizes up his options and plays a low flat pass to Darwin Núñez, who picks it up with Harrison Reed close to him. He goes to Salah far on the right side. Now it's Elliott back to the square to Alexis McAllister. Big switch aiming for Diaz on this near side. Castagna read it, got his head to it, and now it's Raul Jimenez. Bit of a risky pass back into centre field, but Sander Berge got there first and has launched it up towards Traore on the flank, but Van Dijk gets there and doesn't just get there, keeps it in play and finds Luis Diaz, who's arrowed it across to Harvey Elliott. Elliott down the line here for Salah. Salah for Elliott, low and flat and across goal, and safely gathered by Bernd Leno. Safe hands there from the Fulham goalkeeper as Elliott swept it across field.
If that comes on Elliott's left foot, it's a goal. It's just a left-footed player who's not as strong as on his right-hand side, to be fair, because it's good play from Elliott and Salah. Good little cutback from Salah, and you're thinking, put your foot through it, but it's on his weaker right foot. Another comfortable save from Leno.
Fulham heading for just a second win in 16 meetings with Liverpool in all competitions, and heading up to 8th in the table as well. European football could well go down that far in the Premier League this season, but Nunez meanwhile has laid it off just by the edge of the area for Jones. Nunez getting there, but Robinson so alert to get back, and in fact there was an offside in there, so it won't be a Liverpool corner after Robinson tidied things up. It'll be a Fulham free kick, and we've played half of the 6 additional minutes that were signalled.
Yeah, it was good. Listen, Nunez made a really good run in behind, and that's what I want to see him doing. I don't want to be him on the left side, he's on the right side. Players the centre forward stretch the pitch, but Fulham have had a great line. They've defended well. You know, when you play against Liverpool, who are going to be the champions, you have to defend well. They've defended well.
Closing stages here, likewise at Spurs. Henry Moran.
Well, Southampton have a goal back. Spurs 2, Southampton 1. Drilled low finish between the legs of the goalkeeper from Mateus Fernandes. Remember, Southampton lose, they're relegated, but they have got a goal back. Spurs 2, Southampton 1 into the 90th minute.
Into the 94th minute here, and we are set to play a minimum of 96 altogether as Gravenberch steams forwards over halfway on the left for Liverpool into the feet of Luis Diaz. Again, he's got a couple of players in front of him. Castagna and Sander Berge trying to block the route to goal, but he's got it towards McAllister, who couldn't wriggle clear of Harrison Reed on the edge of the box. Good challenge from Reed. He finds Traore, who's given it away though. Really poor play by him in centre field. Chiesa plays it square. Liverpool looking for a leveller into the 5th minute of additional time. Mo Salah can't get any change out of Robinson on that right hand side, but he's won it back off Anthony Robinson. Salah with the cross, low ball in. Good clearance from Anderson under pressure, although not much distance on it. Helped further clear by Bassi. Hectic finish to the game. Fulham clinging on to their 3-2 lead. In it goes low. Anderson improvised. Salah laid off on the edge of the area. Chiesa goes for goal. Brilliant challenge by Castagna. Body on the line from him, and Traore goes over, and that's going to be a free kick to Fulham. One of the biggest cheers of the afternoon from the home fans, who feel that might be job done with a minute and a half of stoppage time to play.
Yeah, I think listen, the tackle from Castagna on the edge of the box is brilliant. Chiesa takes a bad touch, but it's good, and then Traore does well. He's lucky because he makes a mistake before. I don't know why Traore's trying to dribble out. Just knock it and use your pace. If I've got pace like that, not trying to play out, knock it into the corner and use your pace and get you up the pitch. But good defending from Castagna.
Well, one of the stories of the weekend incoming from Craven Cottage is Bernd Leno picks up a yellow card for time wasting as we go into the last minute of stoppage time. Of course, it is a minimum of 6. There might be more, but we are in to the 6th minute of added on time as Leno launches long towards Raul Jimenez. Good control from the Mexican down on this near side, and he's of course going towards the corner flag. Can't quite get there because Luis Diaz has taken it off him. Pinball down there, came off a couple of boots. It was a Fulham boot last though, so it's a Liverpool throw. 95.5 minutes played here as the whistles start to come from the Fulham fans. Bassi inside the centre circle for Fulham. What a game he's had. He goes back to Joachim Andersen, who'll just heave it upfield towards Raul Jimenez. Jimenez doesn't go to play it because he would have been offside. So it's going to be a throw for Liverpool. But it's deep in the Liverpool half, so they need to get it upfield quickly. Gravenberch goes back to Kelleher. This is going to be a big bang upfield from the Liverpool goalkeeper. Tete's underneath it though. Free header for him to get it up towards halfway. There's Van Dijk. He's found Elliott wide on the right. Liverpool with so many red shirts up there. Can Harvey Elliott find any of them? He's gone back to the figure of Bradley and said he's gone long, and the clearance has come to Chiesa by the edge of the area. What's his ball in like? It's good, but it's too close to Bernd Leno. And listen to the cheers from the Fulham fans. They think that is it, and that is it. It's all over. Liverpool have been beaten. Fulham have seen them off by 3-2. What a victory for Marco Silva's side. Liverpool not at the races in the first half. They fought back in the second period, but couldn't quite find a leveller. It's not exactly title race wide open, but they have failed to make the most of Arsenal's slip. The Gunners actually gain a point of Liverpool, but it's Fulham who move up to 8th in the table after overall a well-deserved win on balance, Clinton.
Yeah, they deserved it. For their first half performance, they deserved it. They were the better team in the first half. Liverpool nowhere near the races, but second half, Liverpool were the better team, and you expected that through the eventual champions, but they defended brilliantly. They had to. And then Calvin Bassey, I think they had the best player on the pitch defensively. I thought he was outstanding, and they kept Mo Salah, the best player in the Premier League this season, so quiet. So yeah, big result for Fulham, and it gives them a European chance now.
And looking at Liverpool, they were unbeaten in 26 league games. They were the only team unbeaten away from home in the top 4 divisions this season. But those runs are over. Fulham have ended them. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2.
What a result that is for Fulham.